The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, years after zero. Today's show is a big one. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop, and shout out to you listening on SiriusXM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio or watching along at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to penetrate your ear holes and eyeballs. Today, we got a lot of training camp conversation, like what's going on over there at the New York Giants.
Oh, boy.
Joe Judge is running the ship over there. It might be a little bit reckless. The boys are fighting. The boys are running laps. The boys are running sprints. They're doing push-ups. They're doing up-downs. The coaches are getting sent away, and Joe Judge is saying, hey, fellas, take a knee. He's giving speeches about this team maybe being a little bit loose with the rules. I guess some people jumped off sides. They had to run a lap. Somehow Danny Dimes ended up at the bottom of a pile, which ended up with a scrap happening. The New York Giants are trying to turn the page of being disappointing to their fan base and their owner in conversations with other billionaires. He came out and said, I'm tired of telling people that we stink and why we stink. So he invested a lot of money. Joe Judge is supposed to come in and turn the entire culture around. I guess they're getting after it over there. Maybe it'll be better than they were for the last 10 years or so. Get back to those Coughlin days when they were winning Super Bowls.
Here we go.
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I do know that they said that a lot of the push-ups were being done at a resort pace, a warm-up pace. I think it might be difficult to get some of the vets, maybe offensive line or defensive linemen, in full pads after a fight and after numerous 100-yard runs or sprints or whatever to then do push-ups as well. I bet the conversation in the locker room is amazing, but if Joe Judge wants to enact change and say, hey, we don't want to do this anymore, that's a good way to do it. We shall see how this rolls out. Speaking of rolling out, it seems like every new day comes with every new injury for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, boy. God.
So we'll be talking to Frank Reich here in about 20, 25 minutes, depending upon his schedule of getting off the practice field, doing a couple commitments, and then making it into his office to call us. That is happening in the next 20 to 25 minutes. So we will ask my quarterback coach from whenever he was just quarterback coach, assistant quarterback coach for the Colts at one point. Frank Reich will be joining us.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to chat with him about what the hell's in the water over there at training camp.
Yeah, no kidding.
You go into the season, you think to yourself, all right, we got some perennial ballers out here. Who you got? We got Darius Leonard. Well, he's in the middle of a contract negotiation. He also hurt his foot or ankle or something like that. He's missed some time thus far in training camp.
Yeah. Yikes.
Then you think to yourself, we got Carson Wentz. Looks like he's playing basketball again. He's shooting free throws. He's having a good time. He's celebrating in here, saying he loves life in Indianapolis, Indiana. He's playing football, throwing the ball. Pythagorean theorem, about 70 yards across the field to make a completion to Zach Pascal. He's looking great. Boom! He's out foot injury from high school, maybe. He's out 5-12 weeks.
Oh, my God.
There's hurt. Okay. Carson's hurt.
Yeah, other guys, though, right?
Yeah, there's other pillar guys. You're right. They're talking about maybe a GOAT. Maybe the entire world is witnessing a player play at his position better than anybody in the history of any human that has ever played the position. A high first-round draft pick at guard. They said, Chris Ballard, you're reaching. This is not the right move. The guy's nickname was Earl Grey in college or coming out of college because the teabagging that he enjoyed doing the defensive lineman with how dominant he's been. And by the way, college players look the exact same to NFL players for this guy. He just moves bodies, is an absolute staple, and a tone setter for this Indianapolis Colts team. He's going to be there. Quentin Nelson's going to be there.
Yeah, let's go.
Wreck-It Ralph reincarnated is going to be there.
Yeah.
There's going to be a guy. He got hurt today.
Oh, no. You're joking.
No.
You're lying.
Ari of Pro Football Focus says, at My Sports Update, Colts All-Pro guard Quentin Nelson injured his foot yesterday and was spotted in a boot today.
Oh, my
We got
God.
foot injury, foot, heel, foot. What is going on over there? Is this the turf? Is this the grass? Do I need to get in the groundskeeper's ass?
Yeah,
I will.
feels like
Yeah.
Hey, Troy, All right, that's his actual name. Troy's a good guy. Troy's been doing a lot of great things. I don't know if he does it at training camp, by the way, because it's a different facility than we have at the Colts facility over there in West 56 or whatever. But what the hell is going on? How's everybody getting hurt? And by the way, injuries are going to happen. Okay, training camp injuries are going to happen. Anytime you have this much football happening with this many humans doing this many athletic moves, and boom, we got helmets on. You just saw in Carolina Panthers, JT eBay has been waived from the Panthers. He's supposed to be a young, upcoming superstar of a corner or whatever. Hits a guy in the head in the middle of practice, starts a fight. That guy gets stretchered out from a head injury, scary stuff. JT gets fired. Learning how to practice is a massive deal in the NFL. And we hope everything's okay to Mr. Kirkwood, by the way, the wide receiver that got hit by JT eBay in practice and got stretchered off. Scary situation. That's what football can be, by the way. And that's why football will continue to be a sport that people love watching, because people enjoy watching train wrecks, car crashes,
For sure.
things like that. But practice is something that can get amplified and get a little bit hot, especially in training camp when it's 100 degrees in places and you're going against the same people. And there's only so many contracts on the line where you could potentially go from selling sandwiches to maybe making $150,000, $200,000 if you make this roster.
Yeah.
Even the practice squad, you're making $100 and some $1,000. So there's a lot on the line. Things can get a little bit, tumultuous out there. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah, there'll be a little angst out there. And there can be injuries that happen just naturally in football. But it seems like whenever you get your biggest named players hurt in the first couple days, you can see how a fan base can maybe get a little bit disheartened. I guess the upside is we got a long time until the season comes, so maybe we're lucky that it happened this early, but there's a lot of reps that are being missed, and there's a lot of teams that aren't being led by the pillars of the team. Darius, Quentin, and Carson being out there is massive for everybody. We'll talk to Frank Reich in about 15, 20 minutes or whatever, just to see how he's doing. Getting an update from the back. Zito just said Quentin Nelson needs surgery.
Oh my God.
Let's stop fucking laughing.
That stinks. That stinks. And you got to keep in mind.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you
You
can.
got to keep in mind, these guys, they'll be back eventually.
Oh,
but
okay.
you'll be fine. You can come back when you start out 0-8. There's no problem with that in
This is
Indianapolis.
At Boston Connor, New England Patriots fan, who is very excited about everything he's hearing now coming out of camp, because all there is competition and great plays, not injuries to every star player like what seems to be coming out of Indianapolis. And I assume there's a lot of people in New England that don't necessarily love the Colts, okay? I see a lot of tweets from people in New England that go, I love McAfee. McAfee was a Colt, and I'm still kind of a fan of McAfee. That has to say a lot. So I understand you laughing in our faces.
Whoa.
Let's hope Quentin Nelson's fucking okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's hope his surgery goes well, huh? Let's maybe have a little bit of a hot out here, okay? A wicked hot, okay? Breaking Quentin Nelson has the same foot injury as Carson Wentz. He's scheduled to have surgery in Indy later today with the same doctors, went similar 5-12-week timeline. All right.
That's fine, though. Eric Fisher's going to be back like week 3. He'll
Okay,
sure up the
yeah.
O-line for you.
Listen! Ty Schmidt is also here, Packers fan. He's excited. All the worries that he had going into the season are now behind him. Randall Cobb's joined the squad.
That's right.
Aaron's having a good time. He's driving around on a golf cart all around Green Bay. It's good to be you, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Fantastic.
Hey, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Baby time.
Thank you.
Good for you.
This-
Good for you too, Carl.
Hey, thanks, man. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, it's not actually, because here I am as somebody who, had heard that Tom Brady potentially wanted to be an Indianapolis Colt last year before he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
We're going in a different direction. We don't know if he ever really wanted to be there. This is all hearsay. Who knows? We picked Phil Rivers. Phil Rivers leads the team to the playoffs. Good team.
Good team.
Good
Oh,
culture.
yeah.
They learned how to win. They learned how to get into the playoffs. Now they have to know, okay, we got to take this to the next step. That culture, you find us a quarterback now, because Phil Rivers is on a goddamn sideline of a high school football team in Alabama. You find us a quarterback. This team now is mature enough to go on a run. This team now has been built for the long haul. And the Buffalo Bills were a problem, but getting a chance to experience that and that taste in their mouth with a lot of contracts coming to the younger guys, we're going to go on a fucking run. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go on a run. Now it seems like we're getting off on the wrong foot.
No.
What you did there?
Oh.
What you did there?
It
Got him.
seems like we're off on the wrong foot. And it seems to be the same foot that we're getting on every single day. What the fuck is going on here? This is not good news. I have faith in the culture that the Colts have. But if you're a Colts fan, listen to Frank Reich speak here in probably like 14, 20 minutes or so. I mean, I cannot wait to hear what he has to say about this, because his job, by the way, is to say, hey, it's not about who's hurt. It's about you guys earning an opportunity that you might not have been able to earn because of these guys potentially being in your way. So this is training camp. We're going to field a team. We're going to do this whole thing. But deep down in his heart of hearts, he's got to know that a couple years ago, supposed to have Andrew Luck as a fucking quarterback.
Oh, excited.
Supposed to have Andrew Luck as a quarterback. Now, very close to the season, we're out for the $30+ million MVP quarterback yet again. It's a wild, wild team to be a fan of, I'm realizing.
Obviously, fans are going to be pissed, and this sucks, and this news changes things a little bit. But, like, as a player, if you're in training camp, like when you were, let's say, like towards the end of your career, because obviously the young guys just need to focus on trying to make the team and everything. But when stuff like this happens, are you actively thinking, like, oh, fuck, you've got to be kidding me?
So my biggest thing is I'm not worried about how Quentin's going to do this season. Quentin's going to come back. He's going to rehab. He's a professional.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to come back. He's going to play good football. And they won't even talk about this whenever he comes back towards later in the season, because he'll go on to give up no sacks, no penalties, no nothing. And it'll just be like he just missed a couple games maybe. 5 to 12 weeks is a long time, by the way. Hopefully by the second time the doctor does the same surgery, they'll have a little bit more of a guesstimation on whether it's going to be before the season starts or 7 weeks into the season. I mean, that is two very different timetables, but the doctors, I don't think, enjoy giving projections because they don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know how the players feel about it themselves. Everybody understands, like, hey, Darius Leonard is going to be good at football when he gets healthy. If he is healthy, if he's back already, I'm not 100% sure, but Darius Leonard is going to be good at football. The thing that I worry about, and it's what training camp is for, and this affects Carson a lot more than anybody because he's new there, is this when your team is like coming together, you know? Like this is when the offensive line, and I might be speaking out of turn, I'm just somebody that used to pop into the offensive line meetings at night because it was always fun to poke my head in there and see how miserable a group of people can be. You know what I mean? In a training camp, offensive line is not a position that is desirable. I mean, you are banging your head into things. It is 400 degrees. You're normally a pretty bigger person. You're sleeping on a shitty bed probably. Yep. You got to go to a public bathroom. And then you're also sitting, and it might be different now if they're in hotels or whatever. Still not ideal. You're not at your house. You're a big body. Then you got to sit in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of meetings that are literally breaking down every inch your foot moves. Like, see that your heel went an eighth of an inch there. You lost all the leverage. You got fucking bodied by that person. And you're trying to do that. I'd go in there and just try to listen to them. And just, you know, like, hey guys, hey, good day, huh? Fuck yeah, like that type of stuff. Big part of them is learning each other, right? And I'm not saying that Ryan Kelly, who I think is also injured, by the way. Ryan Kelly's,
way.
I think, yeah.
Are you shitting
I'm not sure if he's playing, but his name was on a tweet that was listing off all the bad things that were going on with the Colts. So I think he's potentially got a little something. I'm not sure it's surgery, but they know each other. But like that camaraderie, that timing, like Carson with T.Y., like all that stuff is just so important, I think. And with a 17-game season, obviously they'll be able to build that as the time comes. But in last year, there was no OTAs or no training camp, and it seemed to work for a lot of people. But there's some really good moments, I think, that happen in the middle of misery of training camp whenever people kind of come together. And that's what I worry about whenever your superstars aren't there. Like when your superstars aren't there, who's setting the standard? Who's guiding that? There's a lot of leaders on this team. Those are not the only ones, but that's what I'm kind of bummed out about. I'll ask Frank Reich about it, though.
As your friend, I think it's time for you to, put the Colts to bed and, come over to the dark side and root for the Patriots. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for you to be miserable for the next 20 weeks. Just put it to rest, let it go. And if it's not the Patriots, fine. Maybe the Packers. Maybe the Steelers in the back. Anything but the Lions, really, in this room is perfect.
MCDC said, now that the pads are coming on, we're going to find out who wants to deliver some punishment.
Right.
That's what MCDC said. And I don't know if you saw them doing the down-ups up there, but they were getting after it. They have been on camp. Look for a couple maybe similar reactions as the Joe Judge camp, maybe for the Lions camp if they don't, we're already doing up downs.
Yeah, you think Goff underneath a pile getting squished by everybody? Probably most likely going to happen.
Yeah, well, then MCDC is going to come flying in there, and every other coach that's on their staff can also beat up probably anybody that's in there. So there's probably going to be a little bit of a war, but MCDC says we see who can deliver punishment and who can take punishment, which is also a big deal. Can he take a big hit, bounce up, still remain in the play, in the period, or do you need to go take a breather and come back later? I think by the time you get to the NFL, we know who can take a hit, who can't take a hit, but all MCDC saying is it's a different time here in Detroit.
Can we give Dan Campbell a little credit? All right, he played a lot in the years. He knows exactly how to keep his players' bodies right.
You're talking about in the NFL?
Yeah, a lot of years in the NFL. I missed a couple words.
No,
there.
that's right. You were excited to talk about MCDC. I'm giving him credit. I have been giving him credit.
Yeah.
And I agree with that quote that he's saying. Now, he probably said a much larger answer that was probably much more profound. And this just happens to fit the MCDC narrative. Like,
right.
We will see who can deliver punishment, who can take punishment is probably, that's very much painting the character of Motor City Dan Campbell. There's probably much, but that's real. You never know. That's why it's hard for a lot of the veterans to take OTA serious. It's very, very difficult for a lot of the vets to take OTA serious because you see some people who are absolute heroes in the spring. And then all of a sudden you get into the fall, and it is a different game. Now, there are people who are not that great in the spring for whatever reason, a little bit slower maybe or something like that. They're not able, and then as soon as the pads come on, it's like, oh, okay, we got a goddamn cement mixer. Right? We got a guy. Now, he might have got exposed in the spring a little bit when everything was wide open. You put some pads on this guy, he's off and running. It's two different teams. But much like everything, just like OTAs, I think it's when you're building hey, you need to be like a circle. You know what I mean? There needs to be no edges. You need to be a tight unit. Let's continue to bounce around the NFL training camps. Justin Herbert threw a ball 70 yards on the run the other day. He looks unbelievable. There's a lot popping off with the potential Los Angeles Chargers being good at football this year. Very quiet conversation about them. Last year or 2 years ago, they were on Hard Knocks?
Last year.
Last year
both
they were
LA teams were on. Yeah.
Last year they were on Hard Knocks. A lot more chatter about them, obviously. Last year, Tyrod Taylor gets hurt. Herbert goes in because of a golf tee to the lung. He has a great run at quarterback.
Yeah.
Situationally, though, they lose in every game, basically. They're either running out of bounds when they should be wanting to keep the clock moving or not getting out of bounds whenever they need the clock to stop. There's just a lot of football IQ errors that were happening for that Chargers team. They should have won 5 to 6 more games.
Definitely.
Which is why whenever they fire the coaching staff after a hell of a run, and now granted the head coach did say that they were out of the playoffs before they were actually out of the playoffs. So that is something that potentially could get brought up at one point. But Staley coming in there has been nothing but praise sung about that man by people around the NFL that I've chatted about. He's a quarterback that is also defensive coordinator, so he sees it from both. He might be the perfect guy for Herbert and for that defense and for all the talent. And if they can get situational football right, the Chargers could be a real fucking problem, but they have a massive division. I like seeing Herbert chuck at 70 yards. It's also nice to see he doesn't need surgery the next day because the last guy I saw throw the ball 70 yards in training camp needed foot surgery the next day.
Yeah.
Herbert's up and at him. Obviously, he's a stud.
He's going to be very good. And like you mentioned, I think the biggest problem last year was obviously Anthony Lynn. We talked about it all year, how he just there was just a miscommunication there. He kind of just stunk down the stretch, which is why Lions fans should feel great because he's their offensive coordinator. That's right. But you're right. I think the Chargers, a lot of people I think if Herbert takes that next step, I think they'll be a playoff team this year.
I think so too. The Chargers are going to be a good squad. Nobody's going to talk about it. Let's talk about Anthony Lynn being the offense coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's not his job to teach the situational football. That's MCDC's overarching thing. Anthony Lynn's going to get back in the driver's seat and say, hey, I'm coaching again instead of handling all the other bullshit. Just like Jason Garrett going over to the Giants and immediately becoming their offense coordinator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be excited about that.
You got to be pumped about that. No, Anthony Lynn will get a chance to get back out there and do his thing. I wonder what it will be like not being a head coach anymore and not having to deal with that bullshit. But I'm pumped for Staley to get that Chargers team going. Let's go to the Houston Texans now. Deshaun Watson has been at training camp. Okay, because it's a $50,000 a day fine if you do not. The new CBA makes it impossible to hold out basically financially. You're going to lose way too much money if you don't go to training camp, even if you're not fucking happy about whatever it could be. Deshaun Watson showed up. He was listed as the 4th string quarterback. Today they went to pads. He was seen on the sideline getting work or somewhere away from the field. This whole situation continues to confuse the hell out of me. They're still talking as if he's going to play this year. I have no idea how that happens with everything that's happening off the field, but obviously him in Houston is not going to be a thing, and that's pretty apparent from what I've been reading thus far.
It just it makes no sense because
why is he even out there?
That's what I mean. He doesn't want to play for them. They can't really trade him right now. you think at this point, like the teammates too, like they know, like, okay, he's not going to be our quarterback this year. So it's like,
well, in the NFL, every time he's out there, all you do is get reminded of everything that's potentially going on outside.
Right.
It's like, who wants that to happen the way it is? I guess maybe the Texans do because they want him to stop showing up so then they can get money from. I have no idea. Maybe not, that by the way is probably not accurate at all. I have no idea who is watching this going, yeah, this is what should be happening.
Because
now.
if he sits out or whatever, can't they like? He's not going to get paid, right?
Yes.
I mean, they can just take his money anyway. So it's like at this point, why does getting fined $50,000 at training camp matter if you're already very vocal about, hey, I'm not going to play for these guys this year. I'd rather sit out and lose this money. Like I want to be traded. Like it makes no sense that he's still there.
We did find out this morning though that the Houston Texans did just finish up a SpaceX like update on their locker room, their weight room, and Jack Easterby, Mr. Crip Walk, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish for Christ guy.
Yeah.
Who we have seen his work both as a pastor and as a leader of men down there in Houston. He and Mr. McNair and Coach Dave and Casario, they went ahead and put in a brand new locker room down there in Houston. It's from the future. Okay. Now they said, now that we got this handled as the coolest locker room of all time, looks like they got rocket like race car seats in every single locker. That's awesome. That's going to make you want to go play for the Texans, obviously. Aside from also getting a chance to operate alongside Jack Eastbury on a day-to-day basis. Now they can handle Deshaun Watson. This is what they've been focused on. Is what my sources have been telling me.
Okay.
And the coolest part about that locker room is Easterby actually comes down through the star in the Texans' head with communion for everybody and hands it out. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome because do we just have the still photos? We don't have the video because the video I watched, that whole thing actually just lowers down.
Yep.
Some music starts playing.
Yeah,
too.
so like you know how some pop stars like Jack Easterby come up through the crowd. You know what I mean? On the stage. This one actually drops down and
from the heavens.
From the heavens.
He didn't want to come from hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming from the Lord's land.
Bingo. And then go to the two photos. The red kind of around the bottom there. Mm-hmm. Then the white, obviously.
Signifies the importance.
Yeah. We know what's going on there.
Yeah, Houston's smart. And with Deshaun Watson being on the field, he kind of has to be, right, if they're still trying to trade him? Because if he's not, then it's like, well...
But are they trying to trade him? Allegedly, they're not answering the calls. People are calling. There is conversations. But is he playing this year? We don't know. We know Lisa Friel did an investigation for the NFL that led to this happening. So you have to... I mean, there is just like there's a never-ending circle here of what the fuck is going on with Deshaun Watson. I have no idea.
And one of the ladies who has the alleged offense did an interview, and it's not very good for Deshaun Watson. Very much condemns him for sure.
Okay, and that happened.
Yeah, that happened recently.
So that's probably going to continue to happen then, right? We would assume.
You would think so.
So how, I don't understand any of this, but it continues to be said that he's playing. I don't know how. Good luck. I hope justice is served either way in that particular case. We have to get to a break. I just got on through the ears there via Zito. I believe Frank Reich is ready for a conversation.
Here we go. Come on, Frank.
So a lot of questions will be answered on the other side of this 4-minute break. I'm actually pretty excited for this, as is Frank, I assume. We'll see you in 4. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Tuesday, August 3rd. I think I've realized this year with the conversations, you do seem to be a rather normal human, which is very interesting, right? I assume for a lot of people to hear. AJ said, no, you are not a normal human. But because all the stories about you before this year, to be honest, a lot of people, the way they believed is you were the smug king almost is what the thing about it. And then getting a chance to chat with you, it's like, well, that's not the case at all. How is that like something you have to focus on? I assume it gets hard whenever you're hanging out with, Scott Stapp is hanging Aaron Rodgers jerseys up in his goddamn office. That has to be pretty weird.
Well, look, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. I think a lot of times, people have said things about me, and it's been the same few people, and that's been kind of the prevailing story or thing that's reflected on. I think for me, I talk a lot about the work I did on myself. It was nice, and it wasn't intentional. Like, I didn't sign the show to have, and you guys know, we've talked about this off air, but there wasn't some agenda doing this. It was fucking talk to Pat and AJ every week. Yeah, sounds pretty awesome.
It has been, by the way.
It sounds amazing. But what it's allowed me to do is, I think, silence all the douchebags out there who were, talking for me and making themselves more relevant by using my name or, running with stories that were not really based in any type of fact. And look, I've grown as a person. I've said things and done things that I wish I'd handled a little better. But this was a great, natural, authentic, whatever, whether it was 15 minutes at the stadium or 45 minutes, to just bullshit and have a conversation. If you're a friend of mine, if you know me, I think this is about as normal as interaction you're going to see from me. It's not a lot of BS. You're not going to hear cliches and garbage. I'm going to, shoot from the hip mostly. Tell you as much as I feel comfortable telling. I feel like I've been as honest as I could be. I've told you guys a lot of fun stuff. That's fun for me because then I don't have to maybe rehash it on a Wednesday, or people get to see a different side of you that maybe they didn't even know was there or didn't think was there. And it's been fun for me. I really have. I've appreciated every single week we've done these. And like I said, the best part is there was no agenda. There was no plan. I mean, even us, we didn't know we were going to go 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour. We just started fucking talking, right? And then this came out, and it's been a lot of fun.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show here on Tuesday, August 3rd. Joining us now is a man who is not only tasked with being the head coach of an NFL team.
Oh, yeah.
That is not easy, okay? He's the head coach of a team that has high expectations because the team that has been built under he and the fine Southern gentleman, Chris Ballard, has been one where the culture has been at an all-time high. The skill level, impeccable. The draft picks have come to fruition, but right now we are staring down an all hands on deck, firing the whole situation, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And also my quarterback coach, whenever he was just a quarterback coach for the Indianapolis Colts. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Wright.
Yeah, Frank!
Coach, how's it going?
Hey, Pat. Good to see you.
Coach, we're in the middle of training camp. All right, you, not me. I'm living a much different life. I actually got to golf 12 holes this morning. Not that different, I guess, from my training camp life, but the world you're living in right now. All hell is breaking loose over there. What's going on in the foot and ankle department? And do we have enough time, you think, to get everything back on track here?
Yeah, well, I mean, you are the foot expert, so maybe we should have consulted you, right? But no, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, but it's all good, Pat. We'll be fine. You know, you have the fluke injury with Carson from an old high school injury. And then, you know, we report that he has the surgery, and the same day he's getting a surgery, you know, Quentin leaves practice early. We get off the field, you know, talk to the trainers and get the word that this might be the same, essentially, not the exact, but essentially the same injury that Carson had. So we can solve, you know, get all the tests, talk to the doctors, and essentially need the same procedure. So the good news is, you know, we're very optimistic, just like we are with Carson. We're very optimistic about the time frame. It is a big range, as you heard me say. It's 5 to 12 weeks, so that's a big big range, but we're optimistic on the front end.
Okay, a couple things there, and I appreciate you being as forthcoming as you are right now. Is it a cleanup process? Is it like a bone is splintered, so they just go and clean it up? Is that what happened for both of them? And are you saying essentially the same because it's two different parts of the foot?
Yeah, so here's what happened in Carson's injury. It was an old injury where he fractured his foot, a bone in his foot. It got loose, but it somehow lodged in there where it wasn't bothering him for a long time. And then over the course of playing 5 years in the NFL, it eventually just the other day popped out. And, you got to go in there and take it out. The good news, Pat, I just said this to the local media, was the procedure was as good as it can be. You have something like that, you want to go in there, get the bone out, and then hope that there's nothing else going on. And in fact, that's the good report that we got. But Carson's was from an old fracture. Quentin's is actually from a developmental anomaly, meaning something he was born with. There was something, that wasn't kind of totally right, and it was fine, and now all of a sudden step on it the wrong way, bam, same result. A piece of bone that's going to be removed.
Okay, so you're getting a call probably right now from Chris Ballard saying, why are you telling Pat all of this shit? No, but I appreciate you telling us this. And I don't think that bone in his foot is his only developmental anomaly, by the way. Seems like that guy packs more power in this area than any human in the history of existence. You said you're optimistic about earlier in the projections of 5 to 12 weeks. Is it 5 to 12? That's huge. That's like a cable, Wi-Fi. That is a big window. Is that because they don't know how it's going to stick afterwards? They don't know. There's still a lot of question marks on what could possibly happen?
Yeah, there is. I wish I was a little bit more of an expert on this. No, actually, I'm glad I'm not, because it means I haven't had a deal. I will be by the time this is over. But when you get in there, there's one thing that they can't tell from the MRIs, that they have to wait till they get in there. And, how is something attached to it? And was that damaged? Is the integrity of that other thing, whatever that is? If that's okay, then you're thinking it's more on the front end of that. But if it's, in the worst case scenarios, if that extra thing is somehow, if the integrity of that is damaged, then you might end up on the backside of that.
Okay, so Carson's back in about 5 weeks. That's before the season starts. Okay. But who knows how many weeks it's going to take there. We'll find out about Quentin later. Is it the developmental anomaly, or is there something else happening? Right now, you as the coach, right, you have to view, okay, so Jacob Eason is the guy. I think it's come out, and there's been numerous sources that have come out and said, hey, Nine's a player. This guy is a great ball player. You're obviously anticipating Carson Wentz to get back for some portion of the season, maybe even in its entirety, depending upon rehab. But with Jacob Eason there, this is a massive time for him, right? Is he taking a majority of the reps as if it's his time to shine out there?
This is a massive time for him, and he knows that. He's approaching it the right way. He's in the driver's seat right now. And so, and all we're asking him to do is get a little bit better every day. In some ways, we've had 2 off seasons that he really hasn't got, we haven't had normal off seasons, but he's done a good job last year during the season, learning from Phillip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett. But man, now this is, now it's speed reading time. Now it's accelerated learning time. And every one of these reps is very valuable.
How are you going to treat the preseason? Have you found that?
He's going to play a lot. That first game against Carolina, if it was Carson, he'd probably play 10 plays. But, I imagine, we haven't talked it through yet totally, but I imagine Jacob my gut reaction is he'll play at least a half.
Okay, I can't wait to see how he does. Can't wait to see you get the boys ready. How's the team feel? Obviously the stars being injured, Quentin, Carson, and Darius, I think also has something. Is everything good with him? Is he be all right?
Yeah, Darius, I think he'll be back any day now. We're good. We talked about, hey, we got a little bit of adversity early on. And, the big thing that we talked about is just don't overreact. Just don't overreact. And the way to not overreact is just to stay focused on the mission at hand. And that's get better every day, become a team in training camp that puts the work in, creates the substance, right, the foundation to have a great season, and that's what we believe we're doing.
Are you, by the way, incredible speech right there, just out of nowhere. Did you? I don't know if you. I mean, that just came out of nowhere. I think a big part of training camp, Frank, and you, backup quarterback, come in, superstar, also beloved by the locker room. I think a big part of it is building that camaraderie of like what type of team you're going to be. Like, how are you going to be? You saying, hey, we're facing some adversity here earlier is obviously good for relationships and everything like that. Is Carson, Quentin, and Darius, are they going to be around? Or are they going to be like, how is that whole process going to be? Are they still going to be felt as you build the framework of what this year's team is going to be about?
Yeah, they are. Like in both Carson and Quentin's case, Pat, what happens is, like I talked to Carson this morning for 30 minutes on the phone. We're talking plays. We're talking, he's wanting the game plan. He's wanting the game plan already. I mean, he was in his normal mental mode. So Quentin will be the same way. There's a few days, basically it's 2 weeks of do nothing, other than heal, and then you start the rehab process. But I mentioned this yesterday to some of the media guys, like with both of these guys, they could be doing walkthroughs in a few weeks. So, maybe in 2, 3, 4 weeks. So, maybe you get, if everything goes perfect, right? I mean, we don't know how it's going to go, but we're optimistic around here. So, if they rest for 2 weeks, they start the rehab process, they start doing walkthroughs, get some good mental reps, boom, start, and then whether it's week 1, week 2, week 3, however it plays out, we're ready to go.
Well, I mean, that is a great narrative, a great mission, and if the Indianapolis Colts fans saw Carson Wentz at a walkthrough 3 weeks from now, I think everybody would be like, our guy's back. Go ahead, Ty.
Coach, obviously the stuff going on with Carson stinks, but you sound pretty optimistic about him. But what have you seen out of him so far that kind of reminds you of the guy you had seen and that, thinking maybe like, okay, last year was just an anomaly. This guy is back. This is the guy I know.
Well, I'll tell you, there's one thing that sticks, several, but two things. I'll just point to two things. One is, in his second practice, he had a phenomenal practice in day 2 for him, and it just everyone saw it. Everyone saw it. We're making plays down the field, doing all kinds of crazy things, good things, doing the easy things right, the hard things right, and making plays. But the other thing that is important to me, and when we signed him, I remember I was interviewed by somebody, and I said, "Hey, Colts fans, let me just tell you something. When this guy walks on the field, you're going to feel his energy. Like, he has a different vibe about him when he walks on the field. Like, you just feel it." And I know the guys felt that. I know you could feel that here. And he's got the right mindset. He knows this is all about the team. This is not all about Carson Wentz. This is all about the right vibe of this team. But we need his energy. He's got energy. I mean, he's not only a great player, but he's got that leadership energy that you just look at and feel. Our fans are going to feel it. I'm telling you, when you see him walk out on the field in warm-ups, you're going to say, he's a guy. He's a guy.
He did it right here in the office, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, golly, this is a guy. Like he reminded me of Luck almost with his stature. Yeah. He is so large. I can't wait to see him come back. Another quarterback that you had history with. And I'm not sure if you saw it. He cut a promo yesterday at a press conference. Nick Foles made me want to run through a wall. And obviously, he had great things to say about you and about Carson and his situation. But he obviously referenced, you and Carson and the Philly situation and the offense that was kind of titled around him. And obviously, Mortensen has reported there's been nobody reach out to in the senior or veteran quarterback world, including Foles or anything like that. But when you hear something like that, talk about how good of a coach you were and how you made somebody's life so much better. Does that feel better than the biggest comeback in the history of the NFL that you led, 2 times or whatever? Is that the type of, that has to feel damn good to hear?
Well, as a coach, it's about the relationship with the players, and this game is about the players. Everybody knows that, and as a coach, when you feel like you can just help a guy a little bit, right? It's we know it's 99% them, but if you can just help a little bit, that can go a long way. So I got all the respect in the world for Nick. He is not only he is a clutch player now and a big time player. He's even a better person. He's a great teammate. Obviously, and I did see the clip because, I did see the clip. Someone showed it to me, and he's telling the truth when he said, we haven't talked. We're friends. We'll always be friends. and he's a Chicago Bear. We're focused here on the guys that we have, and we're going to keep going down that road. And we're excited with the guys we have. And I'll always, be a Nick Foles fan, and I think he's a great player and a great person.
Hey, when you both retire, you can sit back and enjoy what was a magical season from the sounds of it for Nick Foles. Last question here from a New England Patriots fan.
Yeah, Coach, go Pats. Around the league,
the guy stinks. The guy stinks, Coach. Don't worry about it.
You never know. Around the league has guys get pads coming on. Someone in Carolina got hurt, and then there's brawls going on in New York. Is there like a blueprint to kind of be competitive while also keep the players safe, or are you just kind of hoping for the best?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's both. There's a little bit of a feel, but we do look at we look at the numbers. We got sports science. We got 1 million people analyzing data every day. I look at this printout every day after practice. Sometime, Pat, if you ever can bring me on the show, maybe time in my career, then I can bring one of these printouts with you. That it's an insane amount of information, and about the players, and this is about how to keep players healthy. And there's all kinds of things that we look at. We're always analyzing that. But let me just say this. I mean, I'm a little bit old school in the fact that at the end of the day, you got to practice. You got to go hard. There's no substitute for that. We're going to try to take care of the players the best we can. I think our guys know that. I think they feel that. We adapt and adjust as needed. But, injuries are just part of the game.
What about the fights? Do you guys have a lot of fights in your practices or no? There's some cultures that it's much different. Like, for instance, I guess this Carolina Panthers brawl was big because there was a shot to the head. And then for the Giants, Daniel Jones was at the bottom of a pile. That's your franchise. And there was a full fight happening afterwards and everything like that. I've been around fights. Obviously, I've seen fights. But it felt like some teams were much more likely to fight than other teams. Is your team a team that fights or no?
I don't want our team. I don't want our team fighting. I know, like you're saying, Pat. There's that old school mentality that it's not a true training camp until there's at least one brawl.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of the era that I grew up in. You're kind of half generation behind, whether maybe a full generation behind. But that's one mentality. We had a little skirmish the other day, but what I've talked about with our players is I expect our player leadership to really lead the way there. That when things get heated, let's have that intensity. We want the same intensity that's going on before the end of the play. But when the play is over, I expect our leaders to be able to keep control of their position group so that things don't escalate.
Hey, I want to let you know that if Jacob Eason, something happens, I'm not saying there will, maybe he just gets a little mental block or something. Sure. Yeah. Third quarter or preseason game or whatever. Just know that I've been working on it, and I still. Hey, what?
Look at that. That is art right there.
Yeah. I mean, look at, and then I can. You know what I'm saying?
Cards, baby.
Oh.
Hey, if you're a guy, you're a guy, and you've always been one.
Hey, put that on. Hey, put that on the ticker. If you're a guy, you're a guy, and you've always been one, from head coach Frank Reich. As have you, by the way, sir. It's been an honor to watch you coach. Good luck with this team, building it with the absences and still COVID lingering around. By the way, happy to see you're okay. Hey, happy you're okay. But with everything lingering and everything happening, good luck. Can't wait to watch the team that you put on the field on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. I can't wait to see the team.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for having me on.
What do you got today? You got some meetings for the rest of the day? We got walkthrough. You getting after it in the gym? What do you got the rest of the day? Anything cool?
Finished. I just got some meetings coming up next, and a little walkthrough this evening. So got a lot of work to do yet.
All right. Good luck out there, head coach Frank Reich.
Yeah!
Thank you, coach. He's the man.
Yeah.
So the dealing cards thing. Mm-hmm. So, I was the emergency quarterback. Like, a lot of people think that was a joke, but Frank Reich was the assistant quarterback coach. He, my first couple of years, had to come out with me, go through the plays, basically get the center quarterback exchange thing right, the ducks, secco, the whole thing, and then the handing off of the whole thing. Like, he was the one that had to develop me, and then Clyde Christensen, right, all right, this is what we're going to do. We got dice, right, and go through the whole thing. So then I take the fundamentals that I learned from Frank and try to apply it to like 10 plays or whatever with Clyde Christensen. And I think those two were just, I don't want to say like practicing I think Frank Reich was practicing his coaching. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's like, I'm not going to get the opportunity to coach what is the equivalent of a 7th or 8th grader ever again because I'm going to be. So he was really, I think he was really invested. And I feel like we put in very good 15, 20 minutes after walkthroughs and everything like that. It finally broke through whenever he told me it was like dealing cards. You know, he found out I was a gambling person. He's like, you know how you deal or something like you probably deal like this, but you know how somebody that's exactly the motion that you should be doing. I'm like, oh, fucking okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, I can deal cards with fucking anybody. You want to rig deck too? Like, he was a good guy. He was always a good guy. That's why I was excited whenever he got the head coaching gig. And if you do recall, at the press conference, I asked him about the Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's strictly because of my relationship that I had with him that I could ask that. But his answer was just like as perfect as you could ever imagine. And I mean, there was a chance, I guess, that could go a bad way or whatever. Oh, they want to use our clips. Yeah, you can, by the way. I'm in the middle of my show. You know that you see that happening. As is Todd. He probably got an email. Go ahead and use the clips. We're very lucky and thankful that Frank stopped by. But whenever he answered and said, like, the backup role was always good for me. He had the biggest comeback, I think, in college football history. Then he had the biggest comeback in NFL history whenever he was with the Bills. He's always just been that guy. And the backup quarterbacks, we all see Dan Orlovsky now, and you hear, like, most backup quarterbacks go on TV. They know all the offenses. Yeah. Like, that's their job, is to be another quarterback coach, basically. But they also have the confidence to have those conversations with the star quarterback. It's not an easy role. You're like almost a diplomat as well as a potential teammate and coach and a set of eyes, an extra set of eyes. It's a tough position. Normally, those who get into the coaching ranks do pretty well. And I think that's why people were calling for Orlovsky a couple years ago. Like, hey, you want to get in here and do this or whatever. Dan said, no, I got to get on TV and say bad things about Aaron Rodgers' holdout.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what
Which, you know, to each their own. But it's interesting because I think if you're a Colts fan, like his temperament and everything, like that he's the perfect guy for a situation like this, because I feel like if you do have a coach who's like a little more emotional and everything, and you have these 3 big injuries that happen right away, like things could change a little bit, but he doesn't seem swayed in the slightest. It's like, hey, it's part of the game. We'll be okay. These guys are going to be fine. Let's get to work.
Let's not overreact.
Yeah.
And him and Chris have a great relationship, from what I've been told. Like, Chris and Frank love each other. I don't know how you couldn't. They're both massive football dudes, but still, Quentin Nelson, let's hope that developmental anomaly is as clean as Carson Wentz's bone that just hopped out of its little hibernation since high school.
Yeah.
I guess it's just been kind of knocking there somewhere, and then all of a sudden it just says, you know what, Carson? Looks like you're getting your life back together. Looks like you're having fun playing football again. Looks like this team's going to go on a run for you, huh? This is a whole new world. And that thing that was just nestled somewhere in his foot since fucking high school. It's so many incredibly aggressive foot movements ago. As soon as he gets his life back together, training camps happen, that bone says, oh, remember me, bitch? And then they have to go in there and get it, and they said it went clean, but 5 weeks is what it sounds like, by the way.
Yeah, well, good to know for us, though, for preseason betting, that Jacob Eason and the boys are going to be out there for quite some time. So hammer the Colts.
At least a half, he said. At least a half, Jacob Eason. Or maybe, we'll see. I mean,
3.
That might be a good live bet. You know? Might be a good live bet just to see how the kid's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. We should have followed up maybe with how is Jacob Eason
How's he look?
But instead, you asked the question that I wanted to ask, or after you asked a question that was very much needed, was what tells you that Carson Wentz is back even if he gets healthy?
Right.
And it was him saying like an aura, basically. You could see how maybe he had lost that in Philadelphia, where he lost his, kind of mojo. He lost his mojo. And if he's coming out here just skipping around, he said the guys had to have felt it. Like, the guys had to have felt Carson out there. That's huge for the team. I'm bummed we're going to miss it for at least 2 weeks. He's just got to lay down and watch it. He's probably watching this show. No, he's watching film. He's fucking Carson.
True. That's right. Game planning already.
Yeah, he's game planning. Let's go to Josh in Ohio on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. Remember, this is only valid through September 30th.
Oh, correct. Okay. Get on it.
We are not even in that month yet.
No. Just started August, actually.
I could not tell you what this show is going to look like on September 30th.
No.
This show could be vastly different than it is now, but you got time to use promo code McAfee at 5hourenergy.com to save 10%. Let's go to Josh in Ohio on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. What's going on, Josh?
Hey, what's going on, Pat? Toxic Table and the boys.
Hey, how you doing, man? What part of Ohio are you in, Josh?
Cleveland.
Okay, not a bad city there. A couple weeks.
I think the Browns are on the up and up.
Yeah, the Browns are on the up and up. They're going to win a Super Bowl. I've said the Super Bowl, which would imply this year. That's a lot of pressure to put on Baker and the boys. They're just second year in this thing. They're going to go on a hell of a run. They'll win a Super Bowl. Jack's Casino, Dahn, that's just handing out money, Josh. I don't know if you're of age yet, but they just hand out money to people over there. East 4th Street, with the Christmas, Barrios Tacos.
Yeah. Guardians.
My God, yeah, the Guardians baseball team. That ballpark is a beauty to go to. And then the Guardians on the bridge going over it. And let's not even get Town Hall. Me and Baker Mayfield having drinks at Town Hall. Yeah. What do you want to talk about, Josh?
Hey, I just wanted to talk about Carson Wentz and this developmental anomaly. Do we really think the Colts can hold it down while he's out for 5 to 12 weeks?
Hey, the developmental anomaly is with Quentin fucking Nelson. All right? It's not with Carson Wentz, Josh. Jeez, can you listen to Frank Reich? This guy's giving us incredible answers, Josh.
My bad. What's up with Carson Wentz? I thought it was a foot thing.
Yeah, it was. I guess he had a bone that popped out of nowhere that had been injured in high school, and now they're getting it removed. They said it was a clean surgery. They said he should be back. Well, now, who knows how accurate that is, but he said normally earlier on the projections, if the surgery goes clean, which he reiterated like 3 to 4 times that it did.
Right.
So, Josh, I think he's back by the season. Thanks for the call over there in Cleveland. Ohio. I believe we're having some issues with the phones. A lot of people are on, then they get hung up on. That is not me. I don't believe that's mid. It seems like that is a tech issue.
Okay.
Speaking of issues, I'm just reading this now. I did not know this was the case because I was in a couple of meetings yesterday, and then this morning I woke up to golf, second round of the year. Not bad, still won. Matt Stafford hit his thumb off a helmet at the end of practice and left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is via Kevin Modesti. The Rams got a scare when quarterback Matthew Stafford hit his throwing thumb on a helmet near the end of practice. Stafford left the field with the thumb wrap, but holding his helmet with the hand. I don't know anything yet. Coach Sean McVay said, I think he'll be okay. Stay away from the fucking quarterback.
What the hell is going on?
That is one of the best quotes that you'll hear at most training camps. It got highlighted on Hard Knocks whenever the guy who, Todd Haley, and somebody got into it about the defense being close to the quarterback. And Todd Haley said, in the NFL, you don't go near the fucking quarterback. And then defense coordinator will tell somebody to block him then. It's like, well, that is not what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's not the point.
That is a real thing, too, because look how much money. They put the entire future of the franchise on the line for Matthew Stafford to get moved out of Detroit to L.A. Now, they got rid of Goff in a massive contract, but also numerous first-round draft picks. All you need is one person to say, I would have made this sack. Let me showcase this on film. And one no-look pass from Matthew Stafford. And that bubble, that ratio, that barrier that you would hope that is around every NFL quarterback, but inevitably doesn't happen in every single play because that would be crazy to think that it would, but it should. And bang, what happens? He breaks his thumb right there. It's at least, 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
And your 3 first-rounders you gave up, and everything is done because a guy is too close to the goddamn quarterback. And that is what you hear offensive coaches say basically in practice, but it's not as easy as you stay away from quarterback. There's obviously people pushing on the back of defensive linemen. Somebody maybe trips and falls, you get in there, but that is of utmost importance. Don't get anybody hurt out here, especially our stars, even though it seems like this is potentially happening around the league. Right?
Yeah, you hope he's okay, but I think they're probably thinking, hey, we're going to be all right if he is out 6-7 weeks because we got the Wolf.
Good point.
We got the backup quarterback. We got the Wolf. We already saw what he did last year in the playoffs
With a hurt thumb to
with
golf.
a hurt thumb, and then the neck brace and came back and damn near played the next week. I mean, the guy's a player, he's a star. So
yeah, and I think they did trade away all those first rounders for Matthew Stafford to maybe. Hey, if he doesn't start, he can back up the Wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
Jared Goff wasn't that good of a backup.
No.
That's what they were saying. He was standing off all by himself.
Yep.
Remember in that last game, he was kind of off all by himself, wasn't really helping a Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get him out of here.
Also, a broken thumb for Matthew Stafford is basically a paper cut. He'll play. He's fine.
Merely a flesh wound.
Yeah, throwing hand, though, that's tough.
Stay away from the quarterback, dude. It's like JT eBay with the hit on Kirkwood. Like, he's cut. And there's a lot of other teams that are like, we are not bringing in the guy that is headhunting.
Did you see the video of it, too?
It was a late hit.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
big
time.
And he probably flexed, too,
He did.
on that.
He picked up the ball and then started running the other way with it.
Yeah. It's like, hey, pal, keep on running.
See ya.
Right to the CFL, pal.
Yeah.
That is, people getting hurt in practice is never good. Now, if it's something that's just happening with a field or something like that, but if it is caused by a player, especially a player that's maybe on the bubble, man, that will happen very quickly. Joe Judge got them boys working out, though. Learn how to practice, stay off the quarterback. We're back on the other side with A.J. Hawk, a man who probably do-si-doed around Aaron's hands for numerous years. 6 minutes until then, I'm sure the show will be great. And Dana White. What? How are ya? I'm Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? Dahn, we got something for that. Herpes. See ya. Premature ejaculation? Gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on! Bye-bye! GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible. Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No!
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack a little.
No,
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things. Yeah. But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
Yeah, I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died with your eyes?
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're going to make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore, or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And community seems amazing. Fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, you know, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, you know, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. if I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them.
Nice.
But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know,
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't even know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Hour 2, Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, years after the year 0 was deemed the year 0. Okay. Shout out to Twine for the beat drop. Who did that? There's differing answers, believe it or not, like everything on Earth. Joining us now, one half of the Hammer Down Boys at Bubba Gumpino. Diggs is still working out there. Gumpy, great to see you. Fresh shoes, fresh beard, fresh shirt. Is Gumpy still incredibly hot on Hammer Down? 10-2 over the weekend now?
4-1 last night.
Oh, look at this, huh? 14-3, dude, over his last 17. Is that fucking good or not?
Wow, pretty sure.
Gumpy, it's been awesome to watch and follow along. Are you doing Olympics, baseball? What are you betting on?
Just sticking to baseball, what I know. Waiting for soccer to start this weekend, then we'll really ramp it up.
There's a new world ranking by FIFA. Okay, and FIFA is not one to ever do anything in a corrupt fashion or crooked or anything like that. They are by the book. I think it's called FIFA because it stands for forever in between fuckery and lies.
Boom.
And the L is silent at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
They would never lie about anything. They put out the FIFA World Rankings. Look who has a new home in the top 10. I hate to break it to the world about the world's game, but it feels like, and we've been paying attention a lot more because it does involve us, the United States. Our A team and our B team are winning tournaments over everybody in the CONCACAF.
Yeah.
We want the Italians to put up the Europe's trophy against our two trophies. We're ranked number 9 right now. Portugal, don't you wait till you see what we do to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh.
Okay, so that puts us at 8. We might as well put us at 8 now. Spain's got no shot.
Nope.
Argentina, they just won the big time thing down there. They're going to rest on their yawnies. They got no. Might as well put us at least 5. We already challenged Italy. They turned it down. We wanted the Europe to come on over. Let's England,
Please.
Let's
They
not
don't want
even.
it.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
Not
With
again.
that manager that England has, substituting those dudes in with 2 minutes left and extra time to go and throw them into a life or death situation in England, in London, to win the Europes and PKs. I already know with that stooge as coach, we're just fine against him. You might as well put us up there at 3. I mean, Mbappe and France, they got that entire issue going on with that.
The sex tapes.
That whole thing. Put us at 2. Brazil's going to be a problem.
They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough.
They're going to be tough. Brazil's going to be tough. I feel good about Belgium, though, too. I just want
Damn near
everybody.
beat them the last World Cup.
We're top 3, not 3. I think at this point.
I'd agree.
So congrats to the world for creating the world's game, the most beautiful game and all that shit. But most importantly, congrats to us because we have finally found the team that is going to dominate everybody. We did it!
did it.
To go up plus 11 in a rating like that is pretty remarkable.
But you think it's because of the hype that people who don't know the game have been given the United States? Do you think it's because of outside voices that FIFA's finally giving the United States a little bit of respect?
They got eyes on him now.
That's right, and that's our B team winning that day.
Yeah, think about it, if we had Pulisic, we probably would have won 8-0.
Arena too. As well.
Please,
And we got a 12-year-old goalie now who stops everything. I mean, we basically found it. We got the new Tim Howard.
Yeah.
So we had Tammy Ollie. All right. And then we had Tim Howard. And now we got this 12-year-old who looks like he's going to be able to play for the next 20 years. He's unbelievable. We got a team. We're winning the World Cup next. Congrats to you, United States.
Here we go, boys!
Congrats to you, Gumpy, too, being 14-3 over your last 17 bets. I can't wait to follow along at youtube.com/hammerdown. 15 minutes after this show ends, there are just locks being handed out by the boys every day. We appreciate it. Joining us from his attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Haw. What's up, dude?
What's going on? Great, riveting soccer talk. I'm glad I was able to be on for that.
I just want to let you know I had to get that out of the way, and I decided to do it before you because I didn't want you to ruin it. And here you are tagging it at the end.
Congrats to the U.S. You moved up in a poll. I think that's big news. That's a great thing. Like Gumpy said, they got eyes on them now.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of people sliding down that pole.
That's right.
All right. But here in the United States, we're climbing up that pole. We are yodely.
Yeah.
All right, we're yodely all the way up that pole. And we're going to hang out there. We're probably going to do a couple twisty turnies, too, as well. A little whoop-de-woos up there.
And listen, you're not being obnoxious. We're fully aware, like, hey, Brazil's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Right? You know, Brazil's gonna give
We're
us
humble.
8. Yeah, very much so. But that doesn't mean we're not coming.
Yeah,
okay?
that doesn't mean that the other 8 that are staring down an inevitable fate of us being better than them
dead meat
should not be talked about. Like Belgium, I don't even know how they're number 1, to be honest
well,
with you.
De Bruyne.
Who?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Glory for De Bruyne.
He's a problem.
Belgium has been number 1 for a while, though, and they ain't won a damn
They didn't win the Europes, did
Nah.
they? No, we look so much into Belgium. They got 50% tax on everybody, right? That's what they're charging over there because I thought Belgium with the waffles and
Good
everything.
place to live.
We thought it was a great place to live. That's why their soccer team was so good. It is probably fantastic, but I didn't see them do a damn thing in this Europe's tournament where we win 2 over here. Belgium doesn't even win 1. They're like
number 1.
8 spots. Get out of here, AJ. It's a fucking joke, dude. We should be we should top 2, not 2. At this point, I think we've proved that at this point. Don't you think, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely assumed because of the waffles that Belgium was a very solid soccer team. That was the same logic I had.
The place to live.
Come on.
That's where it started with place to live, which then automatically made the players happier. And if you're happy, you succeed. Or do you succeed because you're happy? Both those questions could be tested with Belgium. We did some research. Turns out it's not the place that I thought it was. And it's still nice.
Oh, Belgium's beautiful.
Belgium is beautiful.
I love Ypres.
All right, let's get some topics that are happening. Quentin Nelson has the same exact injury as Carson Wentz, having the same exact surgery as Carson Wentz, has the same exact timetable to return as Carson Wentz. 2 of the Indianapolis Colts' biggest stars, best players out with the same damn thing in their foot. Carson Wentz's surgery went very well. Frank Reich alluded to the fact that he'll be back in closer to 5 weeks than 12 weeks. I guess we'll have to sit and find out about Quentin Nelson. Everything's burning down out here around the foot, AJ. What the hell is going on?
Well, hopefully, I saw your Frank Reich interview. I thought that was very good. I thought Frank was very honest and open and very relaxed. I assume he talked to the local media right before. But with the Quentin Nelson thing, his surgery is happening right now, right?
I believe it's happening today. Yeah, this afternoon is when it was scheduled. We are afternoon. We will have eyes on the surgeon who's trying to go back-to-back for the first time in probably years and years
Well, with
now.
no complications, too. That's the thing. When I heard Frank say, well, with Carson, they got in there and they wanted to make sure they rule out any other further damage that may be there. And he said, good, all we do is take that bone out. Hopefully we have the same case with Quentin. Hopefully they don't get in there and see that it's more serious.
Developmental anomaly is what they said or are describing with Quentin Nelson's bone. And is this a bone spur? Is that what this would be or no? Is a bone spur when a part of the bone frays out and then is this a chipped bone?
Bone spurs don't eat bone spurs. I know I've had them taken out of my foot, ankle. I think they would grow on top of something. They're like a growth on top of it. I think this bone may be floating around, I guess, in Carson's foot it got stepped on, right? And then it started floating around.
So Carson's happened in high school. Who knows how it happened, but it was lodged somewhere. The bone was lodged somewhere, and then it came out and said, "How do you do?" just the other day, and now the irritation is so heavy they have to get rid of it. Quentin Nelson's, they said, developmental anomaly. So I assume that just chips off and it's just floating around your foot. That has to hurt so bad if I had to guess.
Yeah, because you imagine what he's going to be when he comes back now without that bone, bothering him. He's going to be unbelievable, a whole new player.
We don't know if he even knew that he had this anomaly until right now.
That's what I mean. If it is a developmental anomaly, isn't it possible that he's just been playing with this his entire football career
Frank said he was born with it.
Yeah, he had no idea that he had this extra bone, I think, and then it just chopped off, and then it started floating around. They're like, so there's a bone floating around we've never seen before. So we assume you just grew it yourself. Is that how they describe this thing? And are we not talking about this foot doctor having a perfect back-to-back here?
Well, also maybe
let's stay focused.
Yeah, maybe get this guy under the microscope.
He's going in there for Carson Wentz's surgery, and he's like, all right, here we go. Let's have a day. Yeah. All right. This guy's potential MVP back. All of the Indianapolis Colts fans are panicking. We go in there, boom. Perfect day. I'm a fucking hero.
Did it.
Talk about it. Still the expert. And then all of a sudden, next day, like, whoa.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. It's not just Carson's fucking foot. We got our Hall of Fame All-Pro right or left guard. He has a developmental anomaly. We're going to have to go in there. That guy probably had to spit out the booze a little bit.
Yeah.
Get out of the boat parade he was having. He's probably on the boat parade there and get back in there and go back to back. I hope he does fantastic. 5 to 12 weeks is huge. I don't think we know for Quentin Nelson, but that's what training camp is, AJ. There's always a chance that somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody is going to get hurt at training camp. You just got to hope that it's not your stars. For Indianapolis, it seems like every single star we have is finding a way to get injured in the same exact way.
Well, with Darius Leonard, though, he said he expects him back any day. We're not worried about like a surgery.
Yeah, Darius Leonard could be back whenever. There's, I think, contracts potentially happening there as well. So
leave him out. Don't make Darius even practice barely. Let him get a few reps so he feels good, but you don't want to have him injure anything else. Like, you need him healthy.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Are you the type of player that needed practice, wanted practice, had to practice to play? Because there's some people that had to do that. There's some people that thought they could, miss a couple practice and still be just as good. How were you?
I'm sure I could have missed some practices at times, but I never. I feel like I needed it. I needed the reps. I needed practice. I needed like the whole process, the whole step from, okay, Wednesday morning, here's our install, here's our little tweaks, and then we're going to go and we're going to walk through it here in an hour or so. And then that's like another step. Okay, good. I get to see it and feel what it looks like. And then I need to take that to the field in full pads. Like, I need that whole process at least the whole week leading up to a game. But, hey, I watched Charles Woodson. He had a nasty turf toe injury a whole year where he didn't practice at all and just got treatment on his toe. And I think he may have won defensive MVP that year.
Yeah, and I was going to follow up. I have a much different process, but I needed the reps during the week to have any confidence in the game. Like, I absolutely, even whenever I had a dislocated patella, I was like, no, I need to hit balls or I will just think that I'm going to stink. I fell back on that. But to your point, I saw Freeney one year. He was literally just on a golf cart, cruising around. What's going on, guys? All right, you guys need water or anything? All right, I'll see you.
He was on a golf cart?
Yeah, he was on a golf cart, and I think he had like 19 sacks that year or something. He had something with his foot. There was something in his foot. It was just like kind of hanging out, and he would show up on a golf cart. He'd go through the drills, and then in between periods, he'd hit a little lap, like in between when you're in high school and you go around, he'd hit a little lap, and then he'd go back to where it was, and then, I think he led the NFL in sacks that year or whatever. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy, imagine if he practiced. I don't even know what would happen.
Was that the same year he had the guys and the geese coming through with the acupuncture right before the Super Bowl?
So that was broken ankle for Super Bowl. I'm not sure if that was the same year or not. Similar timetable there, though. Yeah, that was unbelievable. The guy show up in the geese. Body gurus.
Did you say they got on the team plane?
No, I saw them getting on a commercial plane.
Okay. So they got on the plane with their geese on.
Yeah, in commercial plane.
Did it say anything like on like the lapel or anything?
So they had the Super Bowl patch on it. They had some other stuff on it.
Whoa!
When I saw them I saw them behind the scenes working on Freeney's ankle that week because everybody had answers for Freeney's ankle that week. Every body guru. I'm sure Guerrero at the time was even sending in some stuff like how we can get the ankle healthy for the Super Bowl and everything like that. And these body gurus were there doing their thing, and that's where I was introduced to them. I was so fascinated. I was like, we got karate guys here? Like, no, have a little respect. It's blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, so we got karate guys here. And they were doing some insane stuff. And then it was like months and months later, maybe even a year later, I'm getting on a commercial flight, and they're right behind me in their full gis. And I was like, I saw you guys do your work at Super Bowl. You got a sack in the Super Bowl. Good work.
Thank you.
Everything paid off. But yeah, there's the injury game in the NFL is a nightmare. You just got to get lucky and hope that it's not your guys. If it's your guys, you're in deep shit. If not, which is kind of where everything else is, you just kind of got to ride the wave. It's very early, and the Colts look like
you have to practice. Like you have to practice, though. Especially you got to assess your team. If you have a younger team that may not have a lot of players with a ton of experience, yeah, you're going to have to bang a little bit. You're going to have to put them in some tough situations. That's why being a head coach, man, like they put it hours and hours into like the thought of what camp will look like. How do I give our guys like the best chance to stay healthy? We know people are going to get hurt, but I don't want to put them at more risk of getting hurt.
Frank Reich said the amount of stats and data he gets after every single practice from the...
Seems so useless, doesn't it?
Well, that's kind of what... He said the amount of information I am given, he said, so we can protect the players, he said is incredible. I forget how he described it. He said, but I'm still old school, though. Like, we still have to practice. We still have to go. And I think that is, as the evolution of science and tech and data continues, with the acknowledgement that sport can be handled in many different ways. As those two combine, we're seeing a very fascinating time, because some people just rely on the numbers because it completely gives them an out. Something happens, well, the number said, well, the book said, well, the book, it gives that passes the buck completely. And if you're a Frank Reich who's like, I'm a little bit more old school, like we're going to have to practice. If something happens, he's going to have to say, the numbers told me that we should dial it back, but I felt as a team we had to step up a little bit, didn't think we had it all the way, and something happens. It's a very interesting time, but all anybody is trying to do is get the absolute best team on the field on Sundays. Let's just make it to the fucking season. It's such a big thought by a lot of the assistant coaches. Like, hey, let's just get to the goddamn games that matter. Can we please make it through? Well, we need one-on-ones at least 2 more times so we can really get it. Okay, I'm pulling AJ Hawk out of there.
Yeah.
No, we ought to see him. I got to pull him out. The give and take that is happening to make it every single practice, I don't think gets talked about ever by anybody.
No, it doesn't. And yeah, like a lot of the information I know, I used to sit there and go over it with my strength coach a lot. The GPS monitors, and they monitor every single thing you do and how many miles you run. Like they give you scores on how you may recover from your sleep, everything, which all of it's good stuff, but it's like anything else. Like nothing is just black and white. Okay, I'm 100%. This is all we go off of this. No, like there's a balance, and you got to figure out what that balance is. And I think that balance changes on what kind of team you have that year too.
And the fascinating thing about the tracking is watching the coaches, I think, learn like how much the wide receivers were running in a practice versus somebody else. Like I think the first day where they saw it, they were like, our wide receivers are running 9 miles a day.
Holy
Do you know that like they are running?
And it's usually at a full sprint too.
Yeah, they're running like 7-8 miles a day, where somebody else is at like 1.5 miles. So they go, maybe we could take it off on the wide receivers every once in a while. And then they start like trying to figure it out. We'll have them run like the back end of routes as opposed to the entire route. But then wide receivers, there's some that are so used to like working, they're like, no, I got to keep going or whatever. It is. Once those. And I was told they were Soviet satellites.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah, Soviet satellite on your back right here. You put it on there and it tracks the whole thing. Once those got introduced, the amount of intel and information was, for instance, I was the fastest guy on the field 2 days. One day actually running, the other day on a golf cart. You know what I mean?
How many players were out there when you were the fastest one running?
Everybody was out there, but it was a walkthrough. Yeah. It was a walkthrough, and I was on the other field sprinting downwind, downhill. Downwind. I got 20-some miles an hour, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I was running, and then I would go and I'd check the score or whatever, and I think the first one was like 19 miles an hour. I was like, nah, I got to go a little bit
20
bigger.
plus.
So then I start like selling out, and people hear me, like yelling on the side, right? So I forget who it was, probably D lineman, because D linemen, I think, were very intrigued by how I operate on a regular basis. I think they looked over and like, what the the fuck are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it. Then I go back, it says 20-something miles an hour. I'm like, fastest guy on the field. So then I walked, obviously, through all of the practice drills. Hey, don't worry about it, boys. 20-plus miles an hour speeding in some school zones. I'm a fast motherfucker on the field. And everybody obviously is mocking me because I have the energy to waste sprints. This is probably 2 weeks in. Everybody is dead tired. I'm over there trying to set the score record or whatever. Then the other day, a week later, because it kind of worn off. I was no longer the fastest guy. So I got golf cart, took the governor off that thing. Mm-hmm. Same downgrade with the thing on. 25 miles an hour, fastest guy on the fucking field. It was unbelievable. It was absolutely. Hasselbeck told the story while we were calling a game live on air because of how ridiculous it was to the entire team because these things were getting projected. Like people knew how long people were running, what the high speed was, what the non-high speed was and everything. And the day I got 25 miles an hour, they left my score off of there, So I was like, what did I run? What's
going on here?
What did I run? And they were like, there's no way you ran 25 miles an hour. I was like, what did the Soviet thing say? Tell me what it said.
They could pull up the film. They could easily pull up the film and show that to the whole team of you in the golf cart.
Fucking taking a couple passes, too.
It would be awesome because it'd be from up in the tower, and then you just see you, off in the distance. You couldn't really zoom. Just you, looking around, okay, yep, all right. And then seeing you climb in and go back and forth.
Actually, think about me lifting the seat, too, moving like the governor. By the way, classic kid that knows how to take the governor off a golf cart. There was a couple skills that I had to get to that point that I was at. But my Soviet device was taken from me that day. I never got another one. Never got another one. It was a damn shame, It was damn.
I wish, I think everybody there was probably, when they saw you huffing and puffing and running these sprints while they're in the middle of a walkthrough after 2 weeks of camp and banging on each other, I bet the majority of the team was like, man, I hope he rips his hamstring right off the bone.
No, I think I was well-liked. I think I was well-liked.
Come back from that. No, of course you're well. Of course you're well-liked. I'm saying put yourself in those guys' mind frames in that moment, and they're hearing you next to them and all your extra energy. I'm just saying, in that moment, they don't truly want that, but they wouldn't be that upset.
Oh, yeah. And then me coming over and talking about being the fastest is just
because they know that. They knew. They when they felt you running, they hear you grunting like, oh, God. Their coach is killing them because they took a misstep in their walkthrough, and they know whenever you do eventually get the score you want, you're going to walk through and chirp everybody.
In the cafeteria? Who goes first, the fastest? Or what are we? I honestly believe that if you're a specialist, training camp is it's a big duty for you to just some sort of faux energy because everybody is dead. Everybody. It is terrible. I don't know how you guys, now listen, not the hardest job on earth. There's other jobs that are much more important and much more serious. I get it. But in NFL training camp, why you see so many guys show up at training camp, go, fuck it, I ain't doing this, and retiring, is because just that constant, especially with your livelihood on the line, the pressure and everything, it's just I don't know.
And there's so much install. Even if you're 3, 4, 5 years in, you always have new coaches coming and different schemes. But even if you've been in this scheme a few years, each day they keep putting more and more volume in. You'll have a meeting at 9 o'clock at night, it'll go till 10, and they'll install what they're going to put in the next day, what you're going to practice in the morning. So you're like, oh man, my first time I can even walk and just think I'm not trying to get to a practice or a meeting, I got to make sure I get back to my room and figure out exactly what I'm doing, because when I show up, we're going to have pads on and we're going to be doing what we just talked about.
Yeah, but also you got to get rehab in the night before, and if you don't get rehab in, you're cheating yourself, you're getting fined, you're cheating the team. Hey, you cheat yourself, you cheat the team, you're getting fined for that. So that 9 to 10 o'clock install goes to 10:15, 10:30 if you're getting ice or bags or whatever. Then you get back to your room, 10:45. Want to say hello to somebody maybe. Sure. Hey, there's 11 o'clock. Oh, now you have to learn what you're going to do at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if you don't, by the way, you are going to get exposed. It is going to be violent, and it is going to be bad out there. That's why, when I was either boozing at night, or smoking or whatever, I always try to come in and lift the spirits. What are you guys doing? Are you learning? Oh, you guys got one-on-ones 8 a.m. tomorrow? Oh, man. All right. Hey, you're going to fucking kill it tomorrow, dude. Get out of my fucking room, Pat. All right. I'll be out there, though, tomorrow. I'll cheer you on, man. I will. I didn't always have, the best days motivating people, but I felt 8 to 9 out of 10, I'd get them going a little bit. But
I think it's beneficial. Hey, if I was a head coach, I'd want to bring you in to be that guy, as annoying as it might be. I think it's needed.
It's not annoying, okay? There's a little bit of there's people that probably do act the way I act that is annoying, and I understand that. There has been previous concerns from teammates of mine that I was potentially going to act like somebody they had experience in the past. I had to. DeQuell Jackson is the perfect. DeQuell Jackson is the perfect example of everything that I am as a teammate. The miserable old Cleveland Brown linebacker had the old school like Kevin Green type helmet, probably 75 concussions at his position. He joins our team, smoking cigars, just old miserable vet basically. Came into our team though, was an instant leader, instant guy. His locker was right next to mine. Literally, I think it was 2 down. One time, like 6:30 a.m., maybe day one, I'm like, hey, here we go, DeQuell, huh? Best fucking day of all time today or whatever. Yeah, all right. He gives me a fist bump and he leaves. Next morning, guess what? Same goddamn. Hey, DeQuell, I didn't think we were going to be able to do it. But today, they're saying, better than fucking yesterday. So I'm like, let's go, DeQuell, huh? Let's go. So then I think it was like day 3 where I came in and he was looking down. And I think I gave him like a little pop on the shoulder or something, like, yeah, huh? How we feeling? He was, is this every fucking day? That's what he said to me. Is this every fucking day? Every day, DeQuell. I'm going to be right here, pal. He's like, all right, well, fucking A, all right. And we dapped each other up, and ever since then, we've been good friends. But that is the epitome of, I think, whenever you just kick a ball, you should also potentially add some other things to the locker room. Mine was the ability to bury anybody in cornhole and hopefully lighten the mood every once in a while. There were some bad days, though, where I was not maybe necessarily the greatest teammate out there, but I tried my best. I think that's big for training camp. Training camp stinks. We have to remember that whenever we're getting quotes from anybody during training camp, things that are said, training camp stinks, but it's very, very vital. I hope the fucking Colts can put a team together. Right? Let's get to a break. AJ.
Quentin Nelson, that one scares me. That dude is irreplaceable.
Dude, and I think Ryan Kelly also. Something's already happened to Ryan Kelly, the center.
Fisher also.
And Fisher, and then Braden Smith just signed a deal, which is awesome. What'd you say?
Stafford injured his thumb. Nothing serious, but a couple days.
Did you see this? End of practice yesterday. Rap Sheets reporting, hey, stay away from the quarterback. How many times did you hear that, AJ Hawk?
I mean, it's a shame that this does happen. It will continue to happen, but man, it shouldn't. It absolutely should not happen.
What's that?
Your starting franchise quarterback hitting his thumb on somebody's helmet. Maybe it was his own lineman. I guess it could have been. I'm saying if it's a D lineman or a linebacker blitzing.
And I'll say to the defensive, perspective, as AJ probably has said numerous times, it's not easy because you're getting pushed. Offensive lineman's pushing. You might be getting chipped and everything.
Yeah, you're trying to win. You're trying to win a one-on-one. That's trying to keep your job. So yeah, but that's why it's a touchy thing. Yeah, any kind of blitzing around a quarterback in practice is just weird.
Same people just get fired on the spot, by the way.
See you.
Yeah. Hey, go ahead. See ya. Go ahead and see you later. Have a good one. Thanks for coming. That was awesome. I'm sure somebody else will sign you. And when you get there, stay the fuck away from their quarterback, too. Just a little sign of advice. We have something else popping off as well, says Zito. David Bakhtiari jokes that Pat McAfee Show and Aaron Rodgers basically bullied him into getting. All right, happy to be a part of that. All right. Hey, don't be a bully, be a star, be a friend, be a Bakhtiari. All right. I'll see you guys in about 4 minutes. We're back on the other side. They just They try to kick each other. They jumped right in the way of the propellers of a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Gold medal. I've been training my whole life for this. There isn't another one of these for how many years? 3 more years? I'll go. Did you see Simone spin on the beam? And a couple ta-ta-ta-ta-tas? Oh, we're going to win it all. The guy that won from China, his shoulders were full boulders. He was the only one that looked like, oh, there's a fucking jacked Olympic weightlifter right there. But as those swimmers are sitting on that thing like this or whatever, if they train their entire lives to make that moment, and then as it's waiting, they just accidentally, boom, fucking out, disqualified.
Yeah.
The commentators in all the sports, I think, okay, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
Not great. You gotta explain to me what the fuck's going on. This is the World Games, dude. I watch judo, okay? Ooh. I watched the Abe family, sister and brother out of Japan, win back-to-back judo championships. I have no idea how anybody scores in judo. All right, it was 0-0 and it went into a golden score situation. Oh. And somehow she got a point, she won, she pinned her, the whole celebration thing happened, it was great. Then her brother comes out and he's going against somebody and he's just fucking throwing him. I don't know how they're getting points. I have no clue what's going on. He wins, didn't smile one time. He won. It was just like, yep, this is what I fucking do. But handball is always one that we watch, the world watches and goes, how is this not massive in America? It's high intensity, it's high scoring. There's incredible athletic plays, both offensively and defensively. There's big time, acrobatic jumps and shit. It's a great game. Oh, you're telling me that if Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers,
Josh Allen,
Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, hey, you're telling me if the greatest athlete throwers that we have in the NFL were to put a team together, they would win the Olympics at handball? Never would have fucking guessed that.
I will say this about the golf tournament. Watch out for the South Koreans. They dropped out of the Open, the British Open, because if they win the golf tournament or medal in the golf tournament, they don't have to do military service for the next 2 years.
So I'm betting on them.
Yeah, it's a pretty good prize.
What is that?
Are you kidding me?
What is that? Has the rest of the golf world heard about this and maybe looked out for their friends?
That's what I was thinking. Hey, let's let them get a medal.
Hey, if it's a gimme, go ahead and just do a little rim job.
I mean, they're good guys. You like them. They're
Patty,
nice on
Patty
the tour.
Reed ain't.
Patty, go to war, pal.
Hey, sorry, bub.
How come our 3-on-3 team is not the professor, hot sauce, and maybe Skip to my Lou? But a lot of people are blaming Popovich, and now there's rumors that Popovich is actually trying to put in, hey, this is how we got to win in international, allegedly. Now, who knows what I know? I don't know anything. It did look like they were running good fundamental basketball offense, though, on the other teams that I've watched. Let's not ask like how or why any of these sports are sports. Okay, let's just watch them and enjoy them. We're watching people who have dedicated their entire lives to a workout, to an event, an activity, 5 a.m. wake-ups, 4 a.m. wake-ups, ice tubs, hot tubs, hours, blisters, blood, sweat, tears, dedication, commitment, missing of events, for these things that we don't fully understand or see how or why they would do it. And I just want us to appreciate the people that have done it.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
We are back, as is SeatGeek.
Yeah!
SeatGeek, which you know from being the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and
the moon.
SeatGeek, also known as the brand that was once blue, now is electrifying.
Coral?
Halloween orange?
I don't know. They're
It's in between
rebranding.
coral and orange.
AJ, what are your thoughts on SeatGeek's new color down here on the SeatGeek ticker, dude?
Well, I can't see the ticker, but I'm guessing orange. Oh, there it is.
It's almost like a peach, a dark peach.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks good, though.
Hell, it looks great.
And anytime you rebrand, you're running the risk of people going, what are you doing? Your last one was beautiful. SeatGeek doesn't have that problem because this particular rebrand is a beautiful one. This one is saying, hey, you know what happened to the world? Live events stopped. So if you're in a ticketing business and the whole world stops turning and having events, guess what? You're potentially shit out of luck. Yeah. But SeatGeek was able to weigh the waters of disparity between the live events being like 17 months or something like that. They're back better than ever on the other side of it. And right now, if you use code McAfee, you'll get $20 off your first order off the SeatGeek ticket buying app. That's code McAfee for $20 off. If you're watching at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show, the link is in the bio. There are 37
days
until NFL football. The season is going to be a celebration, so why would you go to a ticket platform that isn't easy to use? SeatGeek is the easiest by far. They rate every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. There are some bad deals on SeatGeek, but they will literally tell you this is not a good deal for the ticket that you are currently buying because they scan the entire internet to look out for you. Shout out to SeatGeek. Go to SeatGeek.
Thank you, SeatGeek.
$20 off with code McAfee. Go, hey, you're live, but are you living? Go live a little bit and experience something live with our friends at SeatGeek. AJ,
Yeah, hey, why do we not have any videos of these training camp fights? There has to be people that filmed it.
Okay, so I saw the Carolina Panthers shot from JT eBay. That seemed to be late and a little bit high. It wasn't. I mean, I didn't think it was as violent as maybe as when I read it. I thought it was potential thing, but it was a late shot that he did flex a little bit afterwards. Guy had to get stretchered off. Terrible. Hope Kirkwood's okay. He immediately gets cut. The Giants, though, I saw the video of them running laps, but I have not. And the media told the story of what Joe Judge was saying while they were being told to run hundos and also do push-ups. I don't think I've seen a video of the fight yet, but a lot of reports said that Daniel Jones was at the bottom of the pile. AJ, what the fuck is going on in the NFL?
Well, I would assume he was in there trying to pull some guys off or do something, and I doubt anyone jacked him. I'm sure he tripped over some feet, went down. And, if you get underneath some O&D linemen, good luck getting up.
Yeah, and they got their own business to settle before they get up and worry about you being underneath them. There is something that they have had brewing for some time that they don't care if they're on top of a car, turf, or Daniel Jones. They are going to have to handle that. But the interesting thing is you would assume that nothing was happening to Daniel Jones fight-wise because the quarterback is always taken care of. That's why whenever you heard a story of a quarterback getting knocked out in the locker room one time, it was wild to think about.
Yeah.
When you read from one of the media reports that Daniel Jones at the bottom of the pile, my thought is I don't know why he's on the ground either, though. Fucking don't be on the ground, Daniel Jones. I don't know why you're under the ground.
Stay out of there. Quarterback should stay out of any of those fights.
Yeah, and if a fumble happens in training camp, by the way, I appreciate that you want to jump on it. Get the fuck out of there, because guess what? You might be breaking somebody's ankle. That is when you're diving on a pile like that. So I don't know why Daniel Jones was reported at the bottom of the pile by Ralph Vachon. At Vachon, SNY.
Boom.
Hey, Ralph Vachon has got a good view on that thing.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Hey, Nick, whenever you hear something like Ralphie Vachon covering something, what is your immediate thought there, Franklin, Nicholas, Moralo, Donner? Microphone's off.
Oh,
This guy stinks. Yeah, microphone's off.
It brings a lot of pride.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Vachon is getting to the bottom of it, literally looking at the bottom of the pile saying, who's down there? Shit, is that a red jersey down there? Is that Daniel Jones? Nobody else reported that, by the way. A lot of people were talking about the situation. Vachon was the only guy that said at the bottom of this whole thing, franchise quarterback that they took number in the first round that everybody lost their mind to.
Well, yeah, a lot of people when they cover sports want to be fanboys and fangirls and paint a big rosy picture. Vacchiano's going to tell you the truth. You may not want to hear Dan Jones is down under the pile, but Vacchiano's going to tell you, hey, big Dan Jones, he's under that pile. He could get hurt. Shouldn't be fighting a training camp.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, he's probably threw in a couple of those at the end of that, too. There was always a little bit of a, do you agree in the tone of Italians? Because they're not asking, but they're making you feel as if at least it matters your opinion, which is beautifully shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those, it's like we do care about it's Baron Gutekunst.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe if Gutekunst had a little bit more Italian in him, like I have, 0.01%, he would say things to Aaron Rodgers and at the end even act a little bit like he cared about the incoming opinion.
Yeah, that'd be nice if we could just get a couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean.
If there were more guys like Vacchiano covering the Packers, Gutekunst would be at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, I do believe that is the case. I'm not sure how many Italians are in Green Bay. Probably not a lot.
Not very many.
Which is a shame, by the way, because when the Italians show up, the food gets better. All right, questions get asked. And there might be some other side effects that happen as well.
Shady.
There might be some
shady activities. Is that what you're alluding to?
Stat Z. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Dan Jones did say he ran in there because he's part of the offense, by the way. I don't know if it was confirmed that he was on the bottom, but he said, I'm part of the offense. I got to run in there and support my guys.
Okay, so I actually kind of respect it, I guess, that Dan Jones is going in there to swing, but there's nobody on the defense that's going to swing at the quarterback, ever. So
There's no way. Yeah, if you do good, there's no situation where anyone would ever, if you have a guy in a fight on the field swinging at your quarterback, then that quarterback should not be your quarterback.
And by the way, that guy, whoever throws the punch, he's gone. It doesn't matter. Hey, see you later.
Or he does everybody a favor, and everyone's like, good, we've been wanting someone to hit this dude for a while.
He stepped in there. What do you want me to do? He fucking came into it. He red jersey, no jersey.
I was protecting myself. Thought he was going to hit me.
Did you see him throw? I mean, he got a strong arm. Yeah, I had to get him before I get. Why did you grab his helmet and start? Well, I just wanted to be safe. I didn't want to hurt my fingers. You know what I mean? I had to hit his face. What if Daniel Jones actually got into a fight? There's normally a lot of. Okay, there's a couple people in the middle normally going, and then maybe outside you'll find somebody that gets after it. But normally, just like in hockey, it's a lot of grabbing, a lot of shoving. Hey. A lot of that, I believe you've been in more than I have. So is Daniel Jones just in there scrapping it up a little bit? And How does that end?
He's one of the guys. I mean, I get it. Quarterbacks will jump in there, I think, and just try to keep the peace. I'm sure he was doing that, and he feels like, hey, if one of my dudes is in a fight, same thing. Like if an O-lineman gets in a fight, then the whole O-line gets in a fight. They all better be in it. That's probably how he feels.
Yeah, and I respect it. And Joe Judge probably likes it too. But he had to immediately think upon that red jersey getting into the fight going, all right, everybody fucking start running some laps. Dana, our quarterback's fighting now? Like, what do we got going on? Maybe that's why he got so livid, is because potentially – but you got to like that out of that bunker mentality that he's in. So it's kind of a gift and a curse. It's always been, and Frank Reich said this. Frank Reich said, I'm kind of old school, you know? And the old school mentality is there isn't actually training camp until a fight happens, because that's kind of how it goes. He said he's against it now. He does not like it. It's the new thing. There's a lot of people on the internet saying Joe Judge has lost the team if they're already fighting each other. It's almost like I feel like the team's maybe lost if they're not, because it's such like a sign of like, okay, they're invested, they care, they're disturbed. But then on the opposite side, it's like, might hurt yourself, might hurt your teammate. Why are you spending energy this way? So I'm kind of torn on it, but I do not think it means that Joe Judge has lost the team because they're
not even close.
Yeah.
I don't think it means anything remotely close. We don't know what it means exactly, but I'm sure Joe Judge is thinking, all right, hey, good. I'm glad these guys have some fire. There's some guys full of piss and vinegar, but then this has to be it. We cannot let this continue and linger for the rest of camp.
AJ, you and I can have this conversation. Not a lot of people can. And we run the risk of looking like assholes and douchebags, which is my everyday. I'm sorry I'm dragging you into this.
It's okay. I'm okay with that.
I saw a lot of people running those laps. Joe Judge in that video.
Yeah.
And I heard people are doing the push-ups. And I immediately thought to myself, like, Joe Judge is a lucky motherfucker that there isn't some vet over there. And I ain't doing it. You know, all you need is one. All you need is one person in there that is of notability at all. And you're talking about an entire potential situation there. All you need is one. We had a couple speed drills that were being introduced in the offseason that seemed to be a bit ridiculous and repetitive and seemed to be a bit much. And there was one particular running back that is still in the league somehow. Okay, who was asked to do one of these silly games. Okay, and we all were thinking that there's no way we should be doing what we were being asked to do. It was maybe day one, or maybe it was the second day, because we did something. It was a new drill, agility drill, but it was kind of like, we're running the risk of something happening here. We all felt this, right? So then in the locker room, we all have the conversation about the new drill that was introduced. Then day two, it's time for that drill again. We had all forgotten about it. And then one player was asked to do it or whatever. And that's going to be a no for me, dog. And it was, I'd never seen the drill again. That drill was gone. That drill was absolutely gone. Joe Judge saying, hey, everybody run a lap, everybody get down, do push-ups and everything like that. The fact that the team is doing it, I think that bodes very well for how Joe Judge is viewed by that locker room, as opposed to the opposite, where all you need is one person to be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, boss. That sounds like this sounds like some high school bullshit that we're doing right now. This ain't gonna help us. This ain't gonna help us beat the Washington football team. Okay, this ain't that's what some people could do. I'm not saying they should, or I have been a person who's done it. I'm just saying, like, there's a chance that could happen. The fact that it didn't was very surprising to me, AJ. I don't know about you.
No, I think it's there's always the risk of one or two stragglers that aren't going to do it, and then some young guys see that and they're like, well, I'm not going to do it then either. And if you're the head coach, good luck getting that back. That's going to be tough, especially in a public forum when you have local media that are filming too. That'd be make it even tougher.
I wonder if Joe thought at all before he told them to run a lap, like, who won't? Will somebody know? Because there's cameras. There's a lot of cameras on there. And if he goes, everybody run a fucking lap, and 20 people are like, you run a fucking lap.
What if like the whole, like, couldn't you see, I'm sure you've been a part of teams where you could see the whole D-line just be like, nope. Just take their helmets off and take a knee.
All right. Well, good luck out there. I'll see you guys out. Are we in practice or not? Like, I could, and I'm not saying I've been a part of any of these situations. Now, that one drill, it wasn't anything like this because it wasn't like a punishment. It was just like a certain warm-up drill that was being added where one vet was like, no. We can put this one back in the holster. It seems like that was and that was all feel. The coach, too, was like, okay, all right, we don't like it. Okay. All right, we don't like it. We thought we were having fun or whatever. It was one of those. In a punishment discipline situation like this, all you need is one or two, and that potentially. So I think if I'm a Giants fan, I'm watching that, and I'm pretty pumped up, actually, that there wasn't a massive situation there where a couple people said, fuck you, Joe Judge.
Well, and he made the coaches run, too. Like, is it safe to assume that last year he tried to make Colombo run, and Colombo was like, no, I will fight you right here on the spot, and Joe Judge said, all right, let's do it. It's time to throw hands.
That's possibly the case. Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 5hourenergy.com, and use promo code McAfee. Hey, you know what? Offensive line, what? 3 offsides today, 3 false starts. It's on you. Go ahead and run a lap.
Take one.
What? Go run a lap.
You heard me.
I'm not. You're going to have to fight me before I run a lap. And Joe's like, fucking A.
All right.
The expletives, these, super journalists covering this thing. Expletives, 100-yard expletives. We can't even quote it. I wonder what Joe Judge was saying. I would like to hear, because there are some football coaches that can eloquently put together 10 to 20 straight swear words and make it make sense and feel good. Rich Rodriguez was one of the best swearers I have ever heard, ever. He used entire sentences with just ass, shit, fuck, and motherfuck, and it was amazing. You got the point completely across. Joe Judge's throwback. Joe Judge's old school. Will it work for the Giants? I'm not 100% sure.
I asked Dan Jones if that was the angriest he's ever seen him, too, so you got to assume he was absolutely ripshit.
Let's go to Keegan in Indianapolis on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Keegan, what do you want to talk about, pal?
Tom, boys, how we doing?
Hey, not too shabby, man. Watch out for the potholes around here. It's like driving on the moon.
Yeah, I feel you. I just had a quick question.
Okay.
So the over-under with the Colts, the first I saw, I think it was 10.5. With the news with Carson and Nelson coming out, I've seen it's down to 8.5. How are we feeling about that?
I think we hammer the over on that because we're getting at least a half a game on the book if they drop that thing down. Now, Frank Reich seemed to be very transparent with us, almost too transparent if you're part of the Colts organization, I'd assume. I legitimately thought Chris Ballard was potentially calling him saying, what are you doing? We don't need to tell everybody everything right now. But I appreciate him doing that. I got the sense that Carson's going to be back early in the season, maybe a week or two early there, because we're 5 weeks out, 5.5 weeks out. He'll be back in walkthroughs in 3 weeks. You got to think maybe they'll give him the first couple games or something like that. He's probably back by week 3, 17-game season. That's a lot of football still for Carson Wentz to play. And if you had a belief that they were going to be a good team before then, I feel like you should still have that same exact belief. Quentin Nelson missing reps, I don't think is that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially with Ryan Kelly next to him. Now, new tackle might be something he has to get used to because Costanzo did retire or whatever. But in my eyes, I feel like if you like the Colts before these injuries, you should still like the over at 8.5 now. You're actually getting a half a game.
And it's good news if Frank is so confident about Carson coming back. You hope that the surgery goes well for Quentin, and he's also back, within 6 weeks.
And let's hope that doctor that did Carson's surgery perfectly is not on a gloat parade right now.
Stay locked in.
Let's hope he's continued to be locked in. But I feel like the 17-game season, although it's just one more game, that's another game that the Carson Wentz-led Colts will be able to play this season. If you're looking at him missing the beginning of the season, I think it's good news. I think,
if you go through their schedule, I think it's definitely reasonable to say, I can see them getting 9 wins and above this year, whether Carson comes back week 2 or week 4, whenever it is. I think also what Frank said that should make you feel better about Carson's situation, that he mentioned you don't have to be or feel 100% pain-free to come back from this. You can play. It's going to be painful. It's how much can you handle. And he acts like Carson obviously he's tough and he wants to be out there. So it's like, hey, I don't have to feel perfect. I can get back out there and play.
Carson Wentz has led a team that was completely ravaged by injuries while being hurt himself to great football. So I think he is like a tough, as is Quentin Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know, does Toradol still exist? I'm not sure. All right. I'm betting the over. 9-8, by the way, doesn't sound that bad. As we're getting closer here with the new 17-game season, I was worried 9-8 would sound like 8-8 used to sound like. 9-8 doesn't sound as bad as I thought it was going to sound. They win 9 games. That sounds easily attainable.
For sure. If they go 9-8, do you think they'll make the playoffs?
Well, yeah, we don't know what's going on with the Starship Enterprise down there in Houston. You know what I mean? Houston, They have a problem, and it's a lot of them. It's not just Jack Easterby coming down in the new locker room in the middle to hit a little 1-2 step on redfish, bluefish, okay? And then you look at Jacksonville. I mean, could be great, I guess. I don't think that roster is ready to go. No. Maybe they'll be able to go on a run that'll be magical. Tennessee Titans seem to be the big problem. They add Julio Jones, who is wearing Waffle House shoes again. Always open. Yeah. Always open. All right, going to get gritty out there too. So I think there's a chance. Yeah. I think the Colts, if Carson's back and he has any chance to play and develop and timing and everything, and Michael Pittman, who is allegedly fighting people and really going after it, I think the Colts have a chance to win. I do. Now, 10 games sounds a lot better, I think is what you're going to say. 10-7 sounds a lot better than 9-8. Let's not get this thing twisted. Mm-hmm. But 11-6 doesn't sound... like 6 losses sound.
No, I know. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's a fascinating thing, just one game change.
10-7 does sound better, but more than anything, it just feels as though your expectations have dropped significantly, and once again, it's time to come over to the dark side. The Patriots.
I was asked if 8.5 wins. Okay, over on. I am situations are situational, and I understand you feel very good about the Patriots right now.
Of course. How could you not?
Have you heard this? It's going to be a very difficult decision to see who wins the quarterback competition. But, I mean, Cam Newton's our starter, Bill Belichick says, in the same exact statement. I guess Mac Jones still has the number 50 on for whatever reason. Yeah. Hasn't earned a number yet, but he's earned a lot of people's respect. I guess he did a Cam Newton impersonation at the rookie show that slaughtered. Somebody said it was the best show they've ever had. Mac Jones, I think, is about to be a guy up there, and that is... terrible news for everybody in the NFL if New England's going to do it again.
Oh, and it's a win-win, too, because if Cam's a starter and he wins, then, all right, we're doing fine. And if he loses, then, all right, put in Mac and let's see what happens. The only lose-lose is that if we go 0-8 and both of them stink. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, Bill Belichick won't do that, I think. How do you feel about the 50 jersey, AJ?
I mean, the Patriots seem to do this with every guy. Do they have to, earn their... What happens? Bill decides when you earn it, or what?
I don't think this has happened for a long time. Darius Butler said that did not happen whenever he was there. It must be a new thing. Now, Connor's going to spin this as very normal. Hey, this is football.
Look, this is what happens. Doesn't matter where you came from. Doesn't matter what number you were. When you come into the building, all you got to do is what happens, while you're there. So you get the job done. It doesn't matter what number you're wearing on your chest.
You got to earn your stripes like the Yankees, like Rizzo did.
That's right.
Hey, this might be the greatest Yankee of all time.
Yeah, he might be, but I'll tell you what, you're feeling really good, and then they come out and they lose to the fucking worst team in baseball.
Pirates beat you guys?
No, the Orioles, who are just as fucking bad as the Pirates.
I don't believe it.
Guy pitching was 2-12. His ERA was above 6. He fucking stinks, and the Yankees just sleepwalk through the whole goddamn game and get beat 7-1. Can't happen.
And Garrett Cole has COVID.
Yes, he does.
Well, maybe that explains why, since the removal of the sticky stuff, he has stunk, because he has been battling that strain that they didn't know he even had yet. You know what I mean? Is that the whole problem?
Well, I hope so. Because if not, we sank a lot of money into a guy who suddenly doesn't know how to pitch anymore.
Oh, is it because of the sticky stuff?
Well, a lot of people are saying the sticky stuff may have enhanced his stuff. So
you're saying that the sticky stuff potentially made Garrett Cole $200 million.
Potentially. I'm not saying it. That's out there. And so, I mean, he still throws very hard. But, back to your original point, yes, Rizzo,
No, let's talk about Garrett Cole a little bit.
Come on, let's stay on top.
Do the Yankees not deserve a little bit more of a conversation about a potential refund from the league? Maybe a little bit, because you guys are taking away Garrett Cole's literal secret weapon, which is the sticky glue stuff, the Gorilla Glue stuff, the Glue X,
the Spider Tack.
The Spider Tack. Spider Tack was Garrett Cole's best friend, right? They were the tag hawking animal. They were the Road Warriors.
I mean, I don't know about that, because he still throws incredibly hard, and I mean, so he's still got a lot of arm talent. But I'll tell you what, his breaking ball ain't spinning
spin
like
rate?
it used to.
What's his spin rate, Ty?
His spin rate is down.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
this guy stinks.
Yankees cheating again. I'm still
So
waiting
they
for them
can
to
come
get
to
rid-
him.
What's
Don't
that?
you think the Yankees could come to him eventually and be like, hey, if they could try to get him to admit he used Spider Tack before, and then we paid you all this money, and you can't, are they going to try to get money from him?
Listen, if I'm Garrett Cole, I'm taking every paycheck and I'm throwing out there terrible pitches. All right, I'm doing what I got to do. But if you're a Yankee and that was supposed to be your ace, you're in trouble. What's that, Gumpy?
They changed the rule halfway through the season. He's not in the wrong. This was legal until this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so he was just playing by the rules that were in front of him.
Playing ball.
And now it's a whole different game. Just like most sports evolve, baseball decided to change and screw over the Yankees with Garrett Cole, their ace, being their guy can't pitch anymore. What were you going to say, Nick?
Pat, the sticky stuff is definitely an issue, but I think you need to look deeper and dig to the core here. COVID really hurt the Yankees because Russ, their guy, their leader, wasn't able to be at spring ball with the boys and get them ready for the season.
I forgot about clear eyes, full heart, no COVID, we win. And that's Russell Wilson. That's whenever he comes to training camp and he has the stripes on, he's fucking turning too. Hey, boys, hey, how you doing? Two down. Hey, go ahead and sling it around there. Hey,
Listen, I don't like saying it, but Russ Wilson might be better than fucking Gleyber Torres. Okay, we may need to look into that. I mean, Judas Priest, he's been bad.
AJ, when was the last time you watched a baseball game?
Well, remember he said he wouldn't do it anymore after Tom Brenneman got fired.
Ty, nope, never said that, Ty. I saw where I believe he's calling high school games.
Yeah, high school games in Ohio.
Centerville. Yeah. I never said that. Never said that, but
I never said that.
start to finish, it's been a while. It's been maybe 7th grade.
I don't know why.
Deep drive to left.
Yep. Castellanos.
Hey, don't blame me for this. I didn't bring it up.
Well, kind of. I mean,
you said it.
I mean, you're a part of the problem for sure.
When he got fired, you were like, "Yeah." You texted me. You were like, "Yeah, I can't watch Reds games anymore."
I'm just letting you know, Pat. I am censoring myself from saying something that you guys would very much dislike.
Oh, we would.
Is that right?
We would dislike.
There's somebody you guys know, you like, whatever. I'm not going to put them out there, but I'm just letting you know I'm very mature. I'm holding myself.
Oh, way to go. Way to hold yourself accountable in a situation that you just made up in your head. Hundreds of miles away from home.
I think you're throwing things, Ty speaking for me, for things I didn't say. So I'm just telling you, I'm the bigger person for holding back.
Hey, that's very nice of you. Nobody here supports anything that guy said into a microphone.
No, except AJ, apparently.
Well, not even AJ.
No.
Okay.
No.
Jeez Louise. Hour 2, crashing into a break here. Dana White will be joining us in the 3rd hour. Can't wait to chat with him.
Yeah.
That is sweet. There's been a lot of conversation about the UFC as of late. You know what I mean? A lot of conversation.
Yeah, John Jones stuff up in the air. There's a bunch of different things. Yeah,
Conor McGregor seems to be beating whatever he had quicker than ever. He's working out again.
Yep.
Dana White will join us in the 3rd hour, as will you. 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5-hour Energy phone line. We can't wait to chat with you. And then Chris Mad Dog Russo will take the helm, and his show will be better than ours. So we'll see you in 6 minutes for an electric hour 3.
Say football for me.
Football.
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 Football. Football.
Football. Football. Football.
They play football. They play football. They play football. They play football. A former Celebrity Jeopardy champion, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I've missed you guys.
We've missed you too, man. Where are you? Are you out in the woods somewhere right now? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in a log cabin out here.
Have you been doing this since the end of the season? How'd the Jeopardy thing come? How'd you film it? How'd it go? And is that your first time you were kind of back in cell service?
Yeah, pretty much. I did some quarantine during the off season, early parts. The missus was filming up in Montreal, so I was, Quebec has some strict quarantine rules, so I was in quarantine for a few weeks, and then went out to LA and filmed the 2 weeks of Jeopardy, had a blast, and then back for some more quarantine. And now, the off season feels like it's just beginning now.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations on everything happening. Let's talk about the Jeopardy job. Did you watch the other hosts as well, what they were doing potentially that you would want to do differently? How did the whole film study go?
I haven't watched an episode since Alex. Okay. I didn't really want to be influenced at all by the other guest hosts.
Smart.
And how they did things. For me, it was taking a lot of notes and figuring out, exactly what Alex did and wanting to do him justice, his memory justice by being as prepared as possible when I got on the show.
The hair, though, was there a thought potentially, Jeopardy, for you to cut it? Did anybody say, hey, maybe we cutting the hair? Was that conversation? Because I'll tell you, whenever I was going to have to go to court after the public intoxication, a lot of talk about me potentially cutting hair. Didn't do it. I would assume for you, potential same thing with Jeopardy, being Jeopardy and all that.
I thought about it. I also thought about shaving to a mustache to honor Alex, but my hair wasn't long enough that I couldn't do something with it. I felt like we had a nice little comb over going, and I just decided to go with kind of my usual, a little bit of some stubble going and not the neck beard. Sorry, Andrew Luck, but I decided to kind of clean that up a little bit. But there was conversation. I think there might have been some people that wanted me to shave to the skin. I don't do that a whole lot. If that was a prereq to get the full-time gig, no problem with it at all. No problem at all. And
Whoa. Did you just campaign potentially for the full-time gig right there? You loved doing it, didn't you? You enjoyed the hell out of your time doing Jeopardy? Hold on, you lost service in the middle of the woods, wherever the hell you are, whether it's in Canada here or in America on the films. You would love to do Jeopardy more, you say?
I would love to be the host of Jeopardy, yes.
Man, I hope you get it, dude.
Give it to him.
The guy wants it.
Come on.
He's good at everything. He'll shave his face.
Come on. Thanks, buddy. Miss you guys. Love you guys.
Hey, miss you, love you, man.
Love you
Aaron
too.
Rodgers. I have a surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. You know, do you want to have fun?
That's nice
You
of
want to
you.
not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago. Did
Mike's
you,
not plugged in.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this.
I
I
did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it. No, you
did.
didn't.
You
You're a
said
sad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think is his microphone still on? Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Friendly reminder that the basketball tournament has been awesome, and the championship game is tonight in Dayton at 9 p.m. Eastern. Wow. It's Syracuse alumni team, Boeheim's Army versus Team 23, all fighting for $1 million. Someone is also going to win a Bitcoin in the bracket challenge, and maybe one of you will win our bracket because you signed up for it. We're giving away
$5,000.
That's right.
$5,000. Currently in the lead, Callie Katich.
Here we go.
Okay. Hey, good luck out there, Callie.
Go, Callie.
Did you watch the tournament at all, the basketball tournament at all, man?
I've actually meant to say something to you earlier. I saw a team play. They were white and green. Which team would that have been? A couple days ago.
Yeah, so that team's that team out of Michigan State, and that squad, I think they're called the Doctors,
Spartan Doctors?
The Spartans.
The Spartan, yeah.
I get it.
Just the Spartans.
There you go.
I didn't know. Yeah, but it was fun to watch those teams. You know, the best Virginia squad, the best Virginia. Please, can we have a fucking show? All right, you and Ty. Last hour trying to drive this thing off the tracks. Can we please have a conversation? Just one time. Can we have a conversation?
Come on.
All right. Best.
You're not the first. You're not the first person that has said something like that to me.
Can you imagine? I would let you know I do appreciate it because my brain does not operate in that fashion. So whenever you guys drop in your incredible toxicity,
Disgusting.
I mean, incredibly.
This guy, don't you dare. Don't you
What did
dare.
I do? Hey, great shirt, by the way. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler there with the heel shirt. We ordered that a few weeks ago. Love Dolph Ziggler.
Thank you, Dolph.
Friday Night SmackDown, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This weekend, we're back in Tampa, more like Champa. Can't wait to get there. But we got Dana White coming in 36 minutes on the show. Cannot wait to chat with him about, what the UFC's been able to do. They have fights every weekend, I think, in the Apex.
Yeah.
The 6-minute break I utilized this time.
Mm-hmm.
Ran to the bathroom real quick. I was sitting down, and I was thinking.
To pee?
No.
Grow up, AJ.
I would, though, by the way, middle of the night, you get a little tired. You
yeah.
stumble over there. I'll AC Slater the toilet while sitting down on a 2P.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? With the arms
Yeah.
right here on the top shelf.
Nap up there.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Then
magazine.
then you just got to lift up. You got to detach, basically, back her up, and then go ahead and just stumble on out.
Exactly.
Perfect.
It's great. I would do that. But as I was, this one was just a little quick. I need to get the anniversary weekend out of me still. I ate a lot, and it is all just kind of filing out of me. I thought to myself, what if I was on the New York Giants? What if, let's just say somehow, some way, I got back in, I had to work out for them, I was on that team, and I was asked to run a lap because something happened, and then sprints and then push-ups. I'm not sure how I would have reacted at this age now. What age do you... Is there anybody on that team that's a veteran over there, or is everybody gone? Is Danny Dimes and Saquon the oldest guys over there?
I think they are pretty young, right?
Yeah, they're very young, but Solder, he's a vet guy, but he comes from New England, so he's probably used to the Joe Judge type of
he's there
mentality.
to be one of Joe Judge's soldiers.
I think Calvin Benjamin was the glue guy, it feels like.
Well, yeah, Calvin Benjamin was a guy who I don't think he would have ran the lap if Joe Judge.
No way. He hasn't run any laps, actually, in quite some time, I think was the problem.
We don't
Did
know
the whole
that.
team run?
We don't know that.
Did every player run? Because in that tweet, is that Vacchiano or no, it's Dugan says that this was due to a substitution error on field goal block. So there's like O-lineman, everybody has to pay for the field goal block unit.
So I believe the laps were just the defense. Just the defense as a whole, because somebody didn't go out for the field goal block unit, which normally during special teams or during preseason games is incredibly embarrassing. Too many people on the field, not enough people on the field. It's going to happen, though, when some of these people are never going to play football again and have never played special teams before, so they have no idea where they're supposed to be. That happens, but I like that he's, hey, defense run a lap, and that's awesome. I bet you would have loved that if you were not on the field goal block team. You were in a break maybe, and somebody didn't go out to kind of be an edge rush, and now you got to run a lap. But at the end, when the fight happened, they had everybody running hundreds or whatever and push-ups. I am so impressed that nobody said fuck you. Are you not? Push-ups, full pads after running
especially
hundreds.
now, though. That shows you how much, I guess, they have bought into Joe Judge, too. Because we know now more than ever, players have more of a voice. Like before, I feel like, at least in my upbringing, it's like, hey, whatever the coach says, it would never cross my mind to question it. Like, especially to his face. I'm like, wait, what? How many run? Why are we doing that? That would never happen. So now, though, players have a lot more freedom, I think, to share their thoughts. So I think it's even more impressive they all ran.
I agree. You were taught growing up that anything a coach says is right, and they're doing it for the right reason. But once you become a veteran in the NFL, there's a lot of time to question some things. I'm not saying I would ever be a person, but I am very impressed that he's got people doing push-ups in full pads in the middle of training camp with grown men out there. I am very impressed by that. I legitimately, and I think I would actually, in that whole situation, I'd probably move myself to a spot where I could potentially, all right, let's kind of watch how this whole thing unfolds, and then kind of keep an eye out, like, oh, AJ's fucking doing it. All right, I guess we're doing all 30 of these things. I mean, is everybody doing this? Are they actually counting too? Like, I would kind of take that in. That's training camp, though. That's football. We're all the way back. Also happening in football, Nick Saban's 8-year, $84.8 million contract extension was officially approved by the Board of Trustees. So Nick Saban, the man who maybe you thought was going to retire from college football at some point, looked a gift horse right in the mouth and said, I'd like another 8 years, $84.8 million. We ain't never losing this factory that we have here in Alabama. We got every All-American coming here, wanting to come here to compete against everybody. And the fact that we're doing that, okay, roll tide, you remember that? A lot of NIL happening. Our backup quarterback's making $1 million. A lot of people making a lot of money. You know why? Because of what I've created here. I need another $84.8 million.
Yeah, that should do it.
That should be enough for me. And by the way, I'm a coach all the way until the day I die.
Yeah.
All right, that's what Nick Saban's going to do. Does anybody else have a chance? Ohio State fans can't be exactly thrilled about this.
I mean, I don't think they care one way or the other. They feel like Saban was going to be there for a while anyway, so yeah, why not, man?
Hey,
don't you think they had a blank check pretty much when it comes to Saban on what he could ask for?
Yeah, I probably could have got $100 million there, and a lot of these companies that are being created maybe for these NIL deals by boosters from Alabama probably going to have Nick Saban on a couple deals as well.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, the transition of power though from Urban to Ryan Day, not normal. Jason Day, what's his name? Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Jason Day, the golfer, bad back. Hope his back's okay.
Yeah.
T's and P's.
He always has that back thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hope his back's all right, man. Hey, Jason, hope you're all right. Ryan Day, the transition of power, Urban Meyer to Ryan Day, kind of went off without a hitch, right? I mean, the recruiting didn't stop. Seemed like the team continued to buy in, still making the playoffs there. The turnover from one coach to the next, the transition period is huge, especially in this recruiting game. With 8 more years intact, I guess that's what that helps forever, because who's next in line? Like Bill O'Brien?
Yeah,
I think
Billy
he's
O.
down there. Billy O's down there. Who's next in line to be Nick Saban? Everybody always leaves Nick Saban to go somewhere else. Who will be able to do that? And will that leave a massive hole for the Ohio States to maybe win a national championship? Is that what it's going to take?
I mean, I don't know. You are right. Like, it was a seamless transition from Urban Meyer to Ryan Day, and Ryan Day wasn't like this 30-year assistant that took over that had a big-time name as well. Like Jimbo Fisher took over for Bobby Bowden, and people were like, oh, yeah, of course, at Florida State. He'd been there forever. People knew of him. Ryan Day hadn't been at Ohio State that long. He's still such a young dude. Around Columbus, yeah, people know how great he is. So for him to step in and not be like one of those super high-profile big names and do as well as he has, yeah, it's even more impressive.
That's a big deal because, Ohio State, I guess Michigan used to be, because we lost our coach to Michigan. All these jobs that are at the pinnacle, everybody in the coaching ranks is sleeping on couches and running papers and coffee and pens and whatever else, checking classes, everything that's going on to get there. You're trying to get to a couple jobs, and you see people kind of climb up. And that's why Fickell not leaving Cincinnati is such a massive ordeal, because there's probably much bigger money and opportunity in places, especially as these conferences start to completely realign there. But I think Ohio State's one of those destination places. So if he didn't have success in the first couple of years, they would have ran him out of there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like in Alabama, if that person isn't successful that next year, they're not going to have a lot of patience,
No,
right? And
definitely
then
not.
that becomes kind of the problem then, right? Then that becomes the entire issue.
Well, and like you said with the conferences and stuff too, do you think, there's still, we've talked about this a bunch, there's ultimately only going to be 4 teams that matter. They're talking about Clemson and Florida State maybe potentially going to the SEC now. I feel like it really is just going to end up being the true cream of the crop NFL talent will just end up going to one of 4 schools every year.
Somebody notable said it's going to be the Power 4. I read it. I should have screenshotted it and sent it to the group. I apologize. It was while I was scrolling through. We don't pay attention enough to college football, mostly because
it fucking stinks.
Inferior to the NFL. Inferior product.
But the quality of football is much lower. But there are teams that play much better, and college football is fun in its own way. I agree.
Also, I think this past year, I think the NFL, it looked much better on TV than empty college stadiums. The NFL somehow piped in. They did it. It just looked bigger and better.
Well, I think the atmosphere is a part of college football. The environment is a part of college football. So with 1 year being removed with the COVID, and a massive character in a lot of the stories of college football was not allowed to be there in full force, I think it is different. But checked into the college football world, because there's been a lot of chatter, especially now with the OU Texas thing happening in a couple of years. Somebody prominent said that it is going to be a Power 4. Somebody very prominent. So does that mean Big 12 is leaving? Is the ACC leaving? Is the Pac-12? Who's leaving? Because really, it sounds like the only thing that matters is the SEC and the Big Ten, right? And the Big Ten only matters because the Ohio State University still says it matters right now in the grand scheme of things. I know there's a lot of incredible, prestigious universities, but in the grand scheme of college football, I mean, right now, Ohio State's holding it the fuck down for the Big Ten. What Big Four are they, AJ? You're in Columbus. You're a college football legend. It says right on your license plate. What do you think?
I don't know. Who else are you talking about? Like, what did I see today? So where may Clemson go?
SEC with Florida State. There's no way Florida is going to allow Florida State in, though, just like Texas A&M or whoever is not going to allow Texas into the SEC, allegedly. But none of that means fucking anything. That's like the votes on, do you want to pay for a new stadium with your taxpayer dollars? No. Okay, 90% said no, but what we found was the 10% that said yes had better reasoning, so we are going to do it. I think that's going to happen, I think, with these conferences, potentially. No matter how much the legislators and everything say no, it's going to happen. Football is going to win eventually. But yeah, Florida State and Clemson allegedly are trying to get in the SEC. And for Florida State, they have not been great for some time. I don't know if that'd be good news to go into the SEC. You potentially get dog walked.
Yeah, no way. It seems like the Big 12, if anything, is the one that's going to die with Texas and Oklahoma.
Sorry, the Big 12 and the Pac-12 commissioners are meeting today to talk about a merger.
So a merger with the Pac-12 and the Big 12, which is good news for West Virginia because then we could fly all the way to fucking Oregon and then
perfect.
Then Cal.
They got to get out. They got to be done if that's the case.
Why didn't you guys just bring us into the Big Ten, AJ?
I think it makes the most sense for West Virginia to join the Big Ten. Absolutely.
Do you want so as a Big Ten representative, you would like to see us in the Big Ten strictly so that Ohio State will play West Virginia like every year maybe, and we would have that situation where we would have to talk about it? Is that why you're saying that?
No, I don't care about that as much. I just feel like West Virginia feels like a Big Ten team.
It does. And by the way, our atmosphere is good. Hey, you're going to enjoy our atmosphere. All right, Big Ten folks are going to enjoy coming to our stadium. Now, we are going to be rowdy. You know, basketball teams, by the way, same thing. Good atmosphere. And if you guys I do have to say, T's and P's to all your rifle folks. Okay, because when our rifle team shows up, all the awards start coming to West Virginia. That's just kind of how it is. Vincent Hancock, I believe, has once said, you shoot how you shoot or something like that when you shoot skeet. And he said that the West Virginia folks shoot the best. That's just the way it goes.
I thought they were independent in shooting.
The rifle?
Yeah, like Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably.
Because they're so prestigious, you know, that they just, like, hey, listen, we're going to beat your ass no matter what conference we're in.
Now, Notre Dame was considered independent because they kind of had the business by the
nutsack,
gutsack, kind of had it because they were the first team to have a television network, so they had all the business and the power and the prestige and the notability. They could kind of do whatever the hell they wanted, right? That probably led to their independent thing. The rifle team of West Virginia needs to do the same thing because the content that's coming out of that, they need to start a TV thing and they need to be their own independent entity that maybe even shoots against other countries. I mean, fuck just the Big Ten and SEC and everywhere else that's shooting against us. Let's go. We want to go international.
World title.
Let's go ahead and let's go for that. But what I'm saying is a lot of people want WVU to go to the ACC, and I think that's because Virginia Tech, Boston College, a lot of old rivalries are there. But the Big Ten would also be fantastic. Very close, easily travelable, which a lot of West Virginia people will. And I think Neil Brown get them boys play some good football, too, up there in the Big Ten.
But if going back to the ACC, like if Clemson and Florida State do leave the ACC, isn't that kind of like Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12? Like I feel like those will just fold.
Yeah, it becomes odd person out there. Can't have it, won't have it.
Is ND going to join a conference or no? Do we know? Is Notre Dame going to join ACC or anything because they did last year?
They laid the groundwork, they said, for that.
No way, man. They want to keep all that money. Why would you join a conference?
So if there's a Power 4 conference and there's a realignment and there's people paying a lot of money to get into things, maybe they'll be a little bit more stingy with how much they allow Notre Dame. But Notre Dame has that NBC deal.
Yeah.
That I think everybody kind of wants to be a part of, because the SEC, they have a deal with ESPN, CBS, and if Notre Dame goes in there, also NBC. That would be probably
pretty massive.
Greg Sankey's probably trying to do that, actually, probably trying to get Notre Dame down to the SEC, huh? Are they just recruiting, or is everybody trying to get there? Does SEC want everybody, or does everybody want the SEC? Who's doing the hey, we need something here?
I think they want the SEC, right? Just because the SEC is the pinnacle, and if you can win that conference, then you know that you got a shot at the playoff no matter what.
Right, and is this all strictly football related? And have we come to a time where we're all just acknowledging that football runs the world?
Yes.
Yeah, are you Are you thinking of this in terms of their other sports as well, of joining like the Big Ten, like West Virginia?
Well, I keep saying, yeah, our men's and women's basketball team. I actually did a whole thing about our fucking rifle team.
Yeah.
All right.
What about the rest of the schools we're talking about, though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you guys are all a little bit ridiculous with your, the football team wants to get to the national championship. What about the education?
Sure.
What about all the other sports as well? Do you guys think about that, or what are we?
Absolutely, but how many 5-star recruits are going to the schools for the school? Are they going to go to the NFL? Or are they going, or the NBA? Or are they going for the education?
I'm not getting paid for the school, dude. I'm getting paid for the football. What did he?
Cardell Jones.
What did Cardell Jones say? I
don't get what is I don't
get paid to do school or something.
I did say that to people whenever I was in college, and I didn't feel like it was a smart ass answer. But like, Pat, you gonna be a class? Probably not. You know, like, why not? You know, you're getting an opportunity, and I'm like, I just, you know, I'm probably gonna sleep. I got a big workout in the morning. You know, like I'll see you test day or whatever. And they're like, you know, you're getting a chance to get this education or whatever. It's like, well, I'm also getting a chance to play football. So, and they're actually. You know, they're the ones that are paying for me to be here.
That takes precedence.
Penny pictures tonight.
So,
I mean, what do you want me to do?
I mean, I got to celebrate. I mean, there's a life to be celebrating that whole thing. But, you know, the way Cardell Jones said it was much better than any of us have ever said it, although a lot of us have probably felt that. Why should we have to go to class if we came here to play football? We ain't come to play school, dude. All right, classes are pointless. I don't know if Cardell Jones takes tests as well as I do. I'd assume he does if this is his mindset. But if we're passing and we're eligible, who gives a single fuck?
Not me.
Nope.
Not any of the teachers.
Not the school.
Not the coaches.
So Tim and Sally were the people that were supposed to care there, probably, huh? My parents?
I mean, it's not like you were failing, were you?
I don't think so.
I don't know if anyone's supposed to care.
Who's supposed to care there? Who's supposed to care?
The professors, maybe?
No, because I'm
No,
sure
they don't
they're like,
care.
oh, great. Okay, one less kid I got to fucking deal
If
with.
they get tenured, if you get tenured, you can do whatever you want as a professor.
So nobody should even care. The only people that care, I guess, are
the people who are checking to see if you're in classes.
the
I guess
graduate assistants.
Yeah, the GAs are
That
the
have
only
to
ones
check
who are
the
supposed
class.
to care.
Are you coming to this thing or not? Where are you? Your class. Oh, what time is it? Which one? Communication block. What building are you in? Da. Have you not been to this class yet? No.
Just tell them I'm in the back. I'm in the back, man. That's what I gotta say.
No, I used to. There was a couple times where I would just ask, like, where are you? I would have to find out where my class was, then run and meet and sign and say thank you. You know, what's the deal here? Yeah, because there was somebody else in my class that they were checking for. You know what I mean? So like I was like, all right, I got to get out of this class for sure. So I was always trying to find a class where there was no other football player. So it's like had to game the system a little bit because they were checking classes. But are they going to go out of their way to check my class when I've been on the all academic Big East team before?
True.
Probably not. So I just, you know, that's a game you got to play. But to Cardell Jones's point, I ain't here to play school, dude. All right. I'm here to play football. I'm going to be the worst dad.
Just take a look. Anytime you go anywhere, just take a look around. There's a lot of different people in all walks of life that have children. You'll be fine.
Believe me, I watched Dr. Phil, dude. All right? I've seen it. I know how bad it is out there, but what I'm saying is, like, and I also watched the
Teen Mom.
Well, I did watch Teen Mom and Gary here in Indiana.
Man, shit.
I met him at a couple bars down around town. I think,
Having a good time.
I think one potential night, it was me, the Subway guy, and the Teen Mom guy.
Gary.
Wow.
Yeah, just out there on a Wednesday night, you know. Yeah, good to see you guys. We bottle popping. Oh, that's Teen Mom guy. What's that mean? Oh, he with Amber. Right?
Yeah, Amber used to beat his ass every Thursday night.
Oh God! I think that's what I was told. By the way, I think that's what I was told by the people in the bar.
Smack him around big time.
Hey, they're like, this guy comes in here and just goes ham, dude. It's like, really? That's awesome. Good for him. He's a teen dad. People forget.
Yeah, that's right.
Shows Teen Mom. He was teen dad. You know. But yeah,
He was in a Fogel's VIP section with you.
So I guess we all kind of were because his was the first one. You know, it was like you got to walk past. It was very thin. I mean, it was a very small nightclub in Indianapolis, Indiana, that was open on this particular evening of the week where not a lot of places were open. So, you know, you're going to run into, you know, an interesting crowd.
Some cards.
Yeah, and you had to like walk past his section to get to like where I was, and then I think honestly, I believe the Teen Mom guy was potentially in the same place. But yeah, it was like Jared Fogel was holding court there at the front of that thing. Subway guy. Oh, okay.
Holy shit.
Jesus. Is he getting blacked out drunk? What are we
Did
doing?
he bring his pants? Did he bring his oversized pants that he used to wear?
No, but I do believe I did not miss the opportunity to go,
There it is.
yeah, like happy for him, you know? It was like whenever I seen Papa John before. We've all learned about Papa John. Whenever Papa John was throwing those like 90-yard balls in the front porches, hey, Papa!
Yeah. Yep.
I did not miss the opportunity the first time I saw him in the man. I go, hey, Papa! he was not thrilled, you know? Like those. Anytime you do those things, people really enjoy it, especially
Hey, has Connor
with everything we've
has
learned.
Connor apologized to Matt Damon? I know Matt Damon has come out and said he did not say this.
I'll never apologize. He should apologize.
Let's go to Colton in Canada in the on the 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Colton?
You're like Wahlberg's your big Patriots guy, right?
Wahlberg also has some. Hey, what's going on, Colton?
Bon Jovi is the Patriots guy. All right?
Bon Jovi's a Philadelphia Soul guy. He bought the Philadelphia Soul.
Yeah,
And then he
but
tried to buy the Bills.
John Bon Jovi sits next to Kraft damn near every game.
Well, and that's because, you know, he...
Of course. John Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi, John Bon... Of course.
What?
Oh, my God. You not know any fucking
on.
Bon Jovi.
Come on, prayer.
dude.
Are you kidding me?
What was that?
How dare you? How is that what your brain landed on?
It's a Guitar Hero classic. Because whenever he walks in the building, everyone in the goddamn stadium, John Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi. They're so pumped.
The amount of things your brain ran through to get to that is what truly makes this show the best, dude, honestly.
Living on a prayer.
Anyways, I think...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
And the
know
second
he's a big Patriots fan. I had
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea.
Him and Steven Tyler. They're like boys. They love.
Oh, country music singer Steven Tyler.
No. Aerosmith.
No. He next chapter. He is now a country musician.
country album.
Is that right?
Yes, he's a country musician. Yeah, learn your fucking Patriots
gotta
fans.
check that out.
John Bon Jovi. And then,
Well, I know them as Patriots fans. I barely know them as musicians.
Hey,
you
how
know?
about Steven Tyler with the original microphone toss with Run DMC or whatever? You remember that back in the day? That was so cool, dude.
Incredible.
What's going on, man? What do you want to talk about, Colton, in Canada?
Well, I'm just curious why I was on the interweb there yesterday, and I noticed, like, Canada, for instance, obviously being a bunch of stooges. We're paying Olympians that win gold medals $17,000 fucking dollars. Like, what's going on?
17,000 for the gold in Canada. Is there a salary as well?
No, that's what you get. America's only paying like $32,000. I mean, you guys haven't stepped up to the plate hitting dingers either.
Well, I mean, Colton, we're just learning this. All right, we'll try to go to bat for this, and we will hit some dingers here by the end of this conversation. Is there a salary as well, and then those are the bonuses, or is that the only amount of money that you get is if you win a gold and everything like that?
That's the check they cash for you. There you go. Dedicate your life for this. Here's 4 years worth of payments. Give me that at about 12 cents a day. That's fucking wasted.
I did not know that. I assumed that there was a salary, like a yearly salary for you to go in there and work, and then the bonuses come from
For every Olympian? You think every Olympian's on salary?
I mean, yeah, there's Olympic like training centers all over the country. I mean, there is like full blown operations. Colorado, San Diego.
Yeah.
I think
you get paid something. Like if you get invited out to like the wrestling training facility out there, like they'll put you up and everything and take care of you. You might get like some kind of stipend, but I don't think they're getting big salaries.
Singapore says you win a gold $737,000. Fucking go and get it. Let's
That's
go.
awesome. Yeah, how many golds do they have?
Well, that's what they're trying to influence here. Just like, have you heard about Qatar? Qatar built a soccer academy so they could get a soccer team or something like that. And that's why whenever I was watching the United States play against Qatar, like somebody over there was like, somebody said, I want us to have a good team. And they just built like a club and just people like trained their full lives for it. Because that Qatar team is really fucking
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Very quick, and I guess there is just like, they like created an academy almost. If I'm understanding the commentator correctly. But I thought that's what we did with our Olympians. I thought it was a yearly salary and then the bonuses. Thanks for representing America.
I have heard the amount they get for the medals, but I don't know. Like, I wonder if it's per medal. Like, is Dressel going to get 37.5 times 5 gold medals?
Sure. It says it doesn't exceed over $1 million.
And so does the Olympic team, they're sponsored by like Nike or something? Who sponsors?
Polo does all the gear. Ralph Lauren for like the outfits and stuff.
So do the athletes get paid by them?
for wearing the merch.
Yeah, like who takes that money?
Or because wouldn't Ralph Lauren pay Team USA?
Not the athletes. No, the athletes, they present it to them like, oh, you guys are so lucky you get to wear it. Look at this jumpsuit you get and all this stuff that you have to make sure if you're on camera, you're wearing something that we have in this bag for you. But look, you're so awesome. Look at all the merch you get.
I never in my life have changed my opinion on something from like my first year in the NFL getting some free Nike cleats to like year 5 or 6 where I was like fucking paint over those swooshes. There is just it's a vastly different, whenever you view it as, oh, this is marketing versus, oh, this was a gift. It is very, very different time. And I think we all kind of get jaded by that type of stuff in professional sports and once you see the business side of it all. But that makes no sense. Why are they making no money at all? We need to...
That's not good.
Should be like a Madden check at least.
They got to count on making sponsorship money. That's what you got to do. Hopefully you win gold and you get on a Wheaties box and you get a couple commercials.
All right, we need that Rugby Sevens team on some sort of beer.
Yeah.
Immediately.
We need them on some sort of beer out there. Did you see our Rugby Sevens team? One guy had his eye blown up with a patch and they were out there just running through people. Let's put them on a beer stat. So we need to support our local Olympians, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The lady in the Philippines won the first gold medal for them. Got a house and $660K.
Nice. Really?
Yeah, it was their first ever gold medal for the Philippines.
So that South Korean thing, protocol, I don't know, what would that be called? I guess protocol that if they win a medal, they don't have to automatically go to the military service that is called upon them, every citizen in South Korea. They called that like a sports ambassador or something I wonder if you win a gold for some of these countries, I'd assume for the rest of your life, you're probably the ambassador.
Promote that country, yeah. Go around on trips and promote that country.
Yeah. Seems like the right. Why aren't we paying the Olympians? So do we have to have enough money to pay? You said everybody. You said, do you think every Olympian, if you make the team or whatever, don't you think that? I mean, they should have some livable wage. Should they not have a livable wage at least? I mean, these are. How come we're not winning these golds? I'm asking all these questions. We got people sleeping on cardboard boxes at the Olympics, and it sounds like our team should be comfortable with that, be used to it. But maybe they're looking forward to Olympic Village with a little, thermo. Not the air number mattress is terrible. Whatever that is, I finally got that out of my house. Thank God.
Nice.
God, I got that thing out of there. Sleep number fucking A. That thing was the worst thing I have ever slept on in my entire life. But anyways, can we not pay the Olympians? What's going on?
They have to get like a per diem or something, don't they?
I feel like it would be all sponsorship, right?
In this article here, it says some have no sponsors endorsements. Like, I guess the badminton player had to do a crowdsourcing just to fly to Tokyo.
There's corporate sponsorships, and then there's endorsement deals, which I don't really know the difference between the two, but there is a difference allegedly. And then the medal bonuses. That's it.
All right, we appreciate what you did out there for America.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olympians. Still going on, by the way. I have yet to find... myself glued to the television for the track and field events, although Moo from New Jersey, 800-meter women's.
Thing, I believe, is how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Awesome to watch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crushed.
We got somebody.
Yeah.
Young, we got somebody. Going to be somebody for a long time. Shout out to her. But aside from that, it's been tough for me to get into the swimming was so electrifying, especially with Titmus and everybody coming in the last 50 meters going crazy. It's been hard to get into the track and field. I'll do it though, AJ. I will do it if I have to.
Yeah, watch out for that javelin, man, especially with what you do on the side.
Come on, dude.
What do I do? Oh. Yeah, I remember Acho.
He did. There is a new...
I'm not throwing any javelins.
No
I'm
way.
not throwing any javelins, especially whenever I'm all doped up. You know what I mean? Because like Acho said, when you're running a straight line, that ain't a problem.
He's fighting world records out there with wind now, too.
Who is?
Acho. You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Watch the long video on that one, too.
What happened? We got to get to a break. Acho broke a world record?
No, he was trying to dispute one based on the win, but... I mean, forget that guy. Apparently, there is
shout out to Acho, by the way.
Sure. There is a 17-year-old kid running tonight, I believe, in the 200-meter for the U.S. who's like a phenom. So
Here we go.
Maybe that'll bring us back.
Bring us back.
There you go.
We got a guy.
Or is it a guy or girl?
It is a guy. Yeah.
Oh, we got a guy.
We got a guy.
17-year-old. We got a boy.
We got a kid.
We got
an adolescent.
We got an
future
adolescent.
guy.
We got it. All right, we also got to take a break. We're back in 4 minutes. Dana White will be with us at some point on the other side talking about all things. I think my balls was hot is fighting this weekend. The Beast.
Yep.
His fight. Can't wait to chat about that and everything else going on in the UFC. A lot of storylines potentially to be made. Big shout out to Frank Reich joining us earlier and AJ Hawk. We'll see you in 4 minutes. The NFL is implementing the Hawkeye replay system, which has the smart technology, which is synchronized multi-angle replay technology, which allows the ref to view all of the shots and angles of a certain play at the same damn time, as opposed to what they've been doing all along, which is TV producers deciding what replays they see when. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
What? Now, we know a lot about these TV producers, okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't see Joey Josh Chestnut eat his 76th fucking hot dog, all right?
Bullshit.
On 4th of July to break his own record because of a production. We've seen a lot of other rather terrible decisions made in television, in broadcasting of games made. Those same people now, I'm learning, were the people that were deciding what angles the 95-year-old refs in the NFL were getting to see. This is absurd. Thankful that the XFL, who had the Hawkeye smart technology, synchronized multi-angle replay technology, either created, invented, or used from other places, like tennis has this, I believe. I like that we're expediting the replay system. I like that we're getting up with the times. Replay should be an asset to the NFL as opposed to what it is, which seems to be a burden. The pass interference replay thing, because of how terrible they botched the execution of that, it probably will never be brought up or, thought about again, because fans will be able to say, oh, remember when they did that last time? It's like, no, remember how they executed that last time. The replay system is run by people who have not a lot of experience with maybe quick, slow-mo, fast forward, maybe just content being in their face all day, every day. I like that we're making this better. It's better for the game. It's better for everybody. There's a lot of money on the line. Let's not let an opportunity pass where we can utilize technology to make sure the right shit gets done. Let's just do it in a much more efficient fashion. I've always felt that way, AJ.
Well, it's much more efficient, but it makes me question, how did we go this long to where a TV producer is controlling what replays, what angles you're going to see, for the referee, that kind of blows my mind when you think about it.
Yeah, I read it yesterday and I almost axled my pants.
Yeah.
I didn't because I'm an adult, but you get it.
Right. I don't know. I bet you have in the last 5 years.
No, I haven't, but I had. There was that one time where I thought it was going to be a sound, and it was actually action.
Yeah, a little close. That's a different story, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a full axle, I don't think.
Yeah, no, sharding is not
You
pooping.
didn't step in it.
Whoa, I have a little couth, huh, for the goddamn good of the show. But speaking of that, I was quite alarmed whenever I read that TV producer. I'm like, the same people that are making a lot of the decisions that we get a chance to witness every single week are the same people that are deciding whether or not a play that I have a lot of money riding on potentially is overturned or not. I am not about that.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
As of this moment, you might not be able to drink wine out of the Wanamaker Trophy like Phil Mickelson, who is our guest tomorrow.
Whoa!
But we want to make you happy by finding your new favorite wine. Luckily, that is where Bright Cellars comes in. With Bright Cellars, you go to their website and fill out a little palate quiz based on things you know you like. Like, for instance, your favorite type of chocolate.
What?
Ideal setting to drink wine.
What?
And other questions that help them understand you a little bit more. Then Bright Cellars ships you 6 bottles of wine based on your answers. Finding your new favorite wine has never been easier.
Love that.
Each wine also comes with an education card that includes information on the region the wine is from, tasting notes, food pairings, and serving temperature, so you sound like a smart person when you're drinking your new favorite wine.
Okay.
You can always switch up the amount of reds, whites, and roses if you're a seasonal wine drinker and can skip an order whenever you want. Plus, being a Bright Cellars member means you get access to their premium wine portfolio before the wines hit the market. The best part is that if you do not like a bottle of wine, Bright Cellars offers a delight guarantee and will send you a replacement bottle in your next order.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm batting 1,000 right now on these words, by the way.
Yeah, too bad there's only 1,000 left.
Do you hear? True. Do you hear this, AJ, though? There's not a bobble, a stumble, a nothing when I'm talking about Bright Cellars, because Bright Cellars brightens up my day, and it will brighten up your day as well. Foxy, you got into the Bright Cellars game, and all of a sudden you're getting 6 bottles of wine every week now.
Exactly, Pat. I took the quiz. They sent me 6 bottles, and I'll tell you what, they were 6 for 6. I loved them all.
Wow, look at you, Foxy. To celebrate the 50-year-old legend of the game coming on the show tomorrow, Bright Cellars is giving you 60% off their first 4-bottle box from Bright Cellars by going to brightcellars.com/Pat60. That's BRIGHTCELLARS.com/PAT60 to receive 60% off your first 4-bottle order. Bright Cellars, helping you discover wine that you'll love.
Wow. Okay. What a read, huh?
Nailed it. Like that horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just nailed it.
What horse? Mr. Hands? What horse?
No, I'm talking about the Snoop Dogg Crip horse.
My bad. I didn't see that.
I believe the horse did have an allegiance to the color blue while watching it dressage around the arena. Dana White will be joining us here in a couple moments. In a couple moments he will be joining us. We just got a heads up. Tone Diggs has come in here. Hey, good to see you, Tone. Good to see you, pal. Hammer Dahn will start 15 minutes after this show ends. We talked to Gumpy earlier. He is 14-3 over his last 17 bets. He is hot. How are you feeling? What are we betting on?
We had a good night last night. We're back on the diamond tonight. Heard you guys talking about it as I was coming in. You just can't bet the Olympics.
No.
You don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, the 3 people set a world record in one race last night. How are you going to deal with that?
So only one of them actually gets it. The other two.
Yeah.
They all beat the existing world record, though. The 400 meters. Wow.
Was it wind aided?
Well, you'd have to ask my javelin throwing friend, Acho, but I'm not positive.
So what happened? They had wind at their back over there?
Well, no, it's a 400, so.
Yeah, that's like an outdoor stadium, by the way.
Unless it was a tornado.
Well, which could have been. They said there was potential typhoons over there, and I'm not sure how similar that is to a tornado, but if it is swirling and these sprinters just so happen to get a gust at their back at all times, what a moment. I'm happy as hell for them. They deserve it. 3 world records beat. Only one really gets the say in the history books, which is a shame for the other 2 who will go around telling people for the rest of their lives that they also have the world record, and they will have to showcase that they actually don't. Let's talk about the wind, though. What happened? Is that what you guys were referring to earlier? There was a lot of talk about wind and everything like that. What happened? Acho said that he's a man who knows track, by the way. We've got a chance to learn that about Acho. He said that it was wind-aided, so it does not count.
He was referring to a different race. The race last night was the 400-meter hurdles. The other race he was trying to dispute, I believe, was the 100-meter in the women's.
Yeah, I believe he went all the way back to 1988. He was talking about FloJo, which I believe is Florence Griffith Joyner.
Nailed it.
Boom.
Who has the record right now, I think, in the 100 or 200. And that's what he went back and broke down the tape on that, because after she won, there was a little bit of breeze in her hair. And he goes, well, how's that fucking count?
Well, to be clear, anytime you watch somebody do something, you got to check to see where the wind is. If it's a kick, a throw, a run, it is definitely something that helps immensely in different situations. But are you watching? Are you watching the Olympics, AJ? You get into the Olympics?
Not nearly as much as I have in years past, I guess. But don't they say that like, hey, this is a wind-aided race or something? If there is a bunch of wind at their back, it'd have to be 100, I'm guessing.
Probably an asterisk or whatever down there at the bottom. There was wind at the back. Mother Nature decided to help out this particular day. And there has to be times where they're running directly into it. Do they say, like, slowest gold winning time because they were running right into a storm? Like, did they say that as well? Do they go both ways or only when it's super positive?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you what, whenever you go to a stadium and the wind is one direction, it's right down the middle of the field. You know, it's just right in your face. You're like, okay, for half the game, this is going to be awesome. But let's hope fourth quarter, I'm with this son of a bitch and not against it. It is an absolute nightmare. Let's go to some phone calls, shall we, AJ?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Before we get, what are your thoughts on Odell Beckham Jr.'s new smile? $1.8 million with 13 carats worth of diamonds in his grill.
Can we pop it up? I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I asked him. He said he calls it a smile on the rocks.
Ooh.
Nice.
So they stay in all. He can't take it out, right? So they're in there.
Yeah, I believe that he's in there for good unless he has another surgery where he takes him out and replaces him with something else. But I love what OBJ is doing. This guy, bona fide superstar, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And listening to him talk about the Cleveland Browns and wanting to win for them never really gets talked about until the conversation is that maybe Odell's not happy in a place. He's been putting over Cleveland a lot. He was down there at Camp Mayfield or whatever it is, and now he's got $1.8 million in his mouth. He had a $2 million watch on a couple years ago. Absolute stud. I hope he's healthy this year because that offense that got rolling towards the end of the season could be even more explosive if OBJ and his $2 million smile get going.
Do you know he has the most Instagram followers on anyone in the NFL?
I just found that out, and it makes sense.
Superstar.
That absolutely makes sense.
He's a crossover star. He's a guy that football people that are not football people, they know Odell, but they at least know the name, they know the character. Like he's that much of a personality that he's crossed over into everything, I feel like.
Well, and I think whenever you're in Sunday Night Football in New York City.
Yeah.
Sorry, the shadows of New York City.
Yeah.
There it is.
And you make the best catch in history, and then all your training videos start coming out, and it's just like, oh, that's just a run-of-the-mill standard catch for this guy, and then his personality, and it's just... Yeah, he's an absolute superstar. There's a lot of people that probably don't like him, I guess, and those people will never like probably a large portion of humans who have a good personality and stuff like that. But if he's everybody's talking about, oh, he wants out. That's normally the conversation. If he comes back into that offense with Stefanski and Baker and Jarvis and Hooper and everybody that was down there, and I mean, they got Chubb and Hunt in the backfield. I mean, that offense could be dynamic over there in Cleveland.
People talk about how Baker got better last year when Odell was out. Could that just be like, hey, he was 12 weeks into an offense that he had no idea what was before the season?
Hey, he was just understanding what the fucking words meant.
Yeah.
We ever think about that? And they didn't have any training camp or OTAs or preseason. So, I mean, those people are going to hate however they want to hate. $2 million smile is awesome, though. Let's go to the 5-hour energy phone line. Let's go to Robbie in Nashville. What's going on, Robbie? This guy.
Bobby.
You know, I like Nashville, though.
Yeah.
Good place.
Pretty cool.
Nashville's a good time. I think Fort Worth.
Fort Worth for sure.
Fort Worth is what Nashville was like, I think, like 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Now Nashville's gotten a bit commercialized, everybody's going to say.
Yeah.
Fort Worth, you're walking around, there's cowboys singing on the street.
Hell yeah.
There's cows walking down the middle of the brick roads.
Hanging out.
There's people hanging out on decks, drinking whatever. Hey, drinking their ranch waters.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
The stash is down there, too.
Robbie,
These Cowboys.
somebody go find Robbie in Nashville. Hope he's okay. He might be on one of those pedal bikes, and if he is, we're never getting him back.
Nope.
We are never getting that guy back. Let's go to Ethan in Texas. What's going on, Ethan?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Pat, I want to talk about the NFL draft.
Can't wait to hear it.
It's coming right up.
Shout out, Mr. Perfect.
All right, you think it'd be better if it had like a fantasy lottery, kind of like what the NBA and NHL have going on?
All right, Ethan, good question. I like the fact that you love the draft so much that we are talking about it here just 37 days away from the season starting and us not knowing exactly who's going to be drafted or how the draftees are going to do this season. I appreciate that you pay attention to that closely. The NBA lottery draft has the capability of being electrifying, but normally it's a big old dud for some malfunction. I think the NFL's parity is something that they are very proud of, although only a couple teams are tending to win. I don't think that'll ever change. I don't think it'll ever change.
No, how could you do a lottery? Then Like the top 10 teams, the record doesn't really matter at the end, or what?
Well, in the NBA, I think you got a lot of teams that try to up their percentage of getting in the lottery better, and they literally tanking of games in the NBA happens so that they can get 2 to 3% better chances of maybe, and those 2 to 3% get better from like 7% to a 10% chance. And they're like, fuck it, throw it all away. Let us get booed out of 45 arenas. Our own fans turn their back so we can go up maybe 3 to 4% better odds of getting the number 1 overall pick. Oh, we didn't. We actually got the 7th. Oh, we might as well not even draft it this year. It's crazy the way that lottery operates.
And the worst part is there's teams like the Pelicans who will tank, get Zion, and then do
Why'd
nothing
you do
to
it?
help them.
We almost got through this entire show. We almost got through this entire show.
Gotta talk about it.
I like the Pelicans. The Pelicans allowed me to introduce that pencil was from earlier, Mr. Perfect Flip. I like the Pelicans, okay? The Pelicans were very nice to me. All right? They took care of us. The people were cool.
Very nice.
However,
And when I say this, I mean no disrespect to the Pelicans fans. No disrespect at all. And I feel like the Pelicans fans, just like the stupid Pirates fans, have attacked me for saying things that it needs to be said, okay? We need the Pelicans to get the fuck out of New Orleans, or we need to get Zion out of New Orleans. I would like to see him on national television. Another free agency thing is come and gone, and more players are gone than that are coming to Zion. He didn't make the playoffs last year. They let every team but one in the playoffs last year. He didn't make it. Let's get the guy on a superstar team, can we please?
Now.
Joining us now. I would have went on a 10-minute rant.
I'm pumped.
His whole career is getting wasted. He's not even in the playoffs. He's not on TV. The guy's 300 pounds and can dunk from the fucking foul line. Joining us now is a man who has taken a company from being talked about, having a niche group of fans, to a worldwide sensation, doing business all over the globe. A name synonymous with mixed martial arts at this point, the face of the UFC, ladies and gentlemen, President Dana White. Yeah! What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for joining us. You look fantastic. Is this your office? Are we in your office right here?
No, this is the war room. This is where we make all the fights.
Okay, so whenever you look at that globe, the flat Earth back there, listen, all right, that's a whole nother conversation. But when you look at that thing, what are you trying to match? Like, what information do you gather from everything that we're looking at right here?
So to the right of me over here are all the fights that we're working on. We've got fights made all the way up to December 11th. On this wall right here is every fighter in the UFC in the top 15. In each weight class, and we literally sit. This is the heart and soul of this entire. If you come to our offices here, I don't care what sport you go to, the NFL, soccer, or whatever the hell it is. We have the nicest offices on planet Earth. Okay, and this is the heart and the soul. Probably the ugliest room here, but this is the heart and the soul of this whole company. I mean, we sit in this room, me and the matchmakers, for 3 to 4 hours a day, and just argue and put together fights and talk about what's next. And yeah, everything is done in here.
That's awesome. I've gotten a chance to see some of your office via Robbie from over there at Barstool. And I think my favorite thing is the AR or the AK, the AK piece of art that you have in there. And then the Chef and Fuck It Friday is really cool. And thank you for allowing the world in to see the league that you've been able to run. Let's talk about this a little bit. You talk about matchmaking and everything like that, but you obviously have your superstars as well. Whenever you hear like John Jones's name come up, or Connor's going through his rehab at a much quicker rate, do you have to take that all into consideration when you're projecting these things months and months out, or are you like, let's get through this month and then we'll get to next month? Are you how far out are you booking at this point?
Yeah, I don't even think about that. And as far as I'm concerned, Connor's out for a year. The doctor said 9 months, and by the time he starts training again, we're looking at like a year. So I don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross my mind. We're focused on all the people that are here or fighting. Whether you're an up and comer that just came off the Contender Series, the guys that are coming off this season of the Ultimate Fighter, or anybody else on the roster that's currently active right now, is all we think about.
Hey, Dana, so I know you, from the jump, when COVID hit, you found a way to get it done. You get Fight Island, all that stuff happens. The Apex you're fighting now still at times. What was there ever a moment when you thought, hey, like I may have to shut down for an extended period of time?
I think we were shut down for 6 weeks during the pandemic when it happened. And it was without a doubt the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my career. Not just trying to find a way to get through it, but the negativity, the attacks by the media, and all that type of bullshit that I had to go through daily was what made it the most challenging. But I knew that I was willing to do whatever it took, willing to spend whatever it would cost to make this thing happen. And one of the bigger things for me was, when you look down the barrel of this thing at the time, the standard thing to do is you lay off 30% of your employees. We take all the executives, you cut their salaries in half, and you do that type of stuff. There was no fucking way that I was doing that to any of my people. Some of my people have been with me for almost 20 years. A lot of these people have been here for 10. I'm just gonna, just cut them, let them go, furlough them, do all that. There was no way in hell that was happening. So we were either gonna go down in the burning ship together, or we were gonna fight through this together, and that's what we did.
I think my favorite interview, maybe at the beginning of that entire thing, obviously Tiger King stole the show for a bit, but you were being interviewed, and you were very open about our partners are forcing us not to have a fight. We're trying to be good business partners here, but our partners are basically saying we can't do this. We were able, I did secure a fucking island to do this, but it was it was cool to kind of see. And then at one of your most recent press conferences, maybe a week or two ago, you said something that scared the shit out of us, Dana, because we've been dancing on COVID's fucking grave over here pretty hard, And then you said that, I don't know if you said if there's another stoppage, the UFC won't stop, or you were thinking that there maybe will be another stoppage and the UFC won't stop. What do you know? Is that happening, Dana?
It's not that I know anything. It's just, I'm looking at the same things you guys are looking at.
Yeah.
When you're forcing people to be vaccinated that don't want to be vaccinated, or you can't go into a gym or a restaurant, or you could possibly get fired if you don't get vaccinated. And all, the Delta, blah, 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 blah. It was just who knows what's next or what curveball's coming. The answer is I don't give a shit what any of these people do. I got my shit dialed in. I know what I'm gonna. A year and a half ago, you got me. Okay, I didn't see that coming. I never thought that Vegas could be shut down. I never thought that was even a possibility in my lifetime. But now I do, and now I'm ready for anything. So I'm not over here. We just had a couple of fights fall out due to COVID this last week, and there will be more. It's part of our life now. This is part of what's going to happen in the future. But I'm not putting any restrictions on any of my people and forcing them to do anything. I've never forced anybody to do anything, let alone take a shot you might not be comfortable with. Just not me. It's not what I would ever do.
Dana, I'm sure you get asked all the time with all the celebrity boxing going on and everything, but the fight I'm curious about that I almost forgot what's happening was Oscar De La Hoya fighting Vitor Belfort in September. How do you think that's going to go?
Come on.
I'm praying Vitor knocks this crackhead out and viciously knocks him out.
He said he's worried about killing him. Vitor said that. He's worried he's going to kill him.
Yeah, listen, as much as I can't stand that dirtbag, De La Hoya is legit. And De La Hoya, back in the day when me and De La Hoya were cool, I actually was up in his camp. Just his jab could knock people out. I mean, De La Hoya in his prime was the real deal. So this is a real fight between two real guys. I think that, obviously Vitor has the power to KO him, but De La Hoya is no joke either.
All right,
hopefully all the coke sniffing and tequila drinking and whatever other shit that guy's been up to is caught up with him, and Vitor lays one right on that big mouth of his and knocks him unconscious.
Okay, so we'll put Dana White in Team Vitor.
Sounds like it.
Okay, that feels like that was kind of. Let's talk about fake fighting here a little bit. I saw you in the Oculus in the thrill of the fight. Yeah, I live in there. Hey, I've been trying to tell people how good of a workout it is. I hate cardio.
It's incredible.
It is. Are you still fighting in there? And how do you do it?
Yeah. We have it set up in the gym in here. And, man, is that fun or what? And it kicks your ass.
Are you knocking people out in there? Or are we knocking people out? Or are you going to the judges?
So one of the things we're working on this new, when you want to box, the hardest thing to do is to get a mitt man, to get a guy that holds the pads for you and stuff. So we're working on this system right now where you have a pad guy. And I'm working on this workout where we go from the Oculus to the pads. And then when the pads are done, you lift weights. It's a killer workout.
Yeah,
I'll send you one. We're working on the prototype right now, and it's getting there. We're right there. When I get it a little bit better, I'll send you one of the prototypes, and you can check it out.
Oh, I would love to. Am I going to become a fucking monster or what? Do you think that's going to happen?
No, your cardio and your hands are going to be unstoppable is what's going to happen. Will you write that down to remind me to send one of these prototypes?
Yeah, please. Thank you to
I'm
whoever.
send you one of these.
Hey, tell whoever that is I said thank you. I don't know if they're making fights in the meantime and then taking notes for you, and I can't thank you enough.
That's Lene, my head of PR. She's a beast.
Hey, Lene, thank you for that in advance. And we'll take an XL shirt, too. I mean, XL shirt if we want to. Let's talk about.
Send these guys both a bunch of UFC.
Yes! Yeah! I appreciate that. Let's talk about this weekend. Hey, let's talk about this weekend. Big time fights. Obviously, my balls was hot is one of my favorite fighters on earth. He's headlining. We got a big weekend ahead. As you're putting fights on every week at this point, huh?
Yeah, pretty much every week. And yes, when it comes to heavyweight championship fights, this is an interim title fight. You can't get a better fight than this. You have Derek Lewis, who is the hometown favorite in Houston, big celebrity there. They love him. Has that one-punch knockout power. Actually beat Francis Ngannou, the champion, against Cyril Gane, who is undefeated, 9-0, also has never fought the champion. So whoever wins this fight takes on Francis Ngannou to unify the title. You can't get a better heavyweight fight than this.
Hey, let's go. I'm going to go into the thrill of the fight and watch and knock Spider out a couple times, the big son of a bitch, and get ready for a big heavyweight fight. Go ahead, Ty.
Dana, at this point, like when it comes to finding new talent, does that kind of stuff just genuinely come to you? Or like, do you still have to go out and kind of like find guys? Or do you feel like at this point, everyone's trying to fight in the UFC? Like, is it a lot easier to find guys like Sugar Sean and, guys who are going to become huge superstars?
No, so we still have, shows like The Ultimate Fighter and the Contender Series. And what it does really is introduces so many people to these young up-and-coming stars. These guys, basically, when they come off these shows, are already, stars in the making. But we also go out and look at talent. We cultivate talent. Like if we see people in China or India or Mexico or Puerto Rico or some of these different places that we think has potential, we will fly them out to the United States, put them in really good camps, and let them train with some of the best fighters in the world so that they can get to that next level. We've been doing that for like 12 years.
Yeah, I think the fights and the fighters are such good stories. I mean, the stories that come out of it. And Sugar Sean is, he's come on our show a lot. We're big fans of. He has that just swagger, it seems like. And that's the fight game, right? You guys, the fight game is, and that's, I assume in that room you do a lot of, in the matchmaking, do you take into accountability like, all right, here's some buzz, here's a... We got to clean this place. Too many flies. I think I just got a bug in my mouth. If you could send Lene, fly swatter as well. UFC fly swatter, that'd be fantastic if you could do that. When you're trying to put these fight cards together, like knockout power, you think about, hey, this one has a lot of like history behind. Like, how do you go about, and how much is like the promotion a big part of it? Because I feel like the whole world gets invested whenever two people are talking shit to each other. Whether the guys like to do it or not, or the girls like to do it or not, it feels like that is just good for business, right? Do you think about that? Do you guys promote that, or is that just kind of how the business runs and it always has?
No, we don't. We go based off skill, rankings, and things like that. Listen, if you get a guy like Conor McGregor, who obviously can fight, he's got good punching power and things like that, and if he has that it factor to become a big star, that's just a huge bonus. But we don't really look at that when we're making fights.
How about Diaz, 5 rounds? You had to think, all right, this guy, we got Diaz in Phoenix. Yeah, we'll put his ass in a fucking 5-rounder. I mean, that was a home run. That was a home run fight. And I think he almost ended that thing exactly how everybody thought it was going to go there. Obviously, I think the other Diaz is getting back in there. How good for fighting is that guy?
Yeah, no, the Diaz brothers are definitely fun, and they bring a completely different fan base in when they fight. It's fascinating. And people just love these guys, and you know, from their press conferences to the weigh-ins to the fight itself, people are fascinated by the Diaz brothers.
I saw you dropped marijuana testing for it immediately after the Diaz press conference, where the picture went where
the timing just worked out.
Of course it did. Good luck this weekend. Good luck with all your fights, and good luck with finding, and congratulations, finding like a blueprint for if the world ever stops. You got this own arena basically that you created in an island. It's incredible work. Congrats on everything.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, you guys. And I got a bunch of stuff coming for you, so thank you.
We heard that. We'll send some back, by the way. Are you knocking people out in there or not?
Where? Yeah, on the video game, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what you have the setting on, those guys are tough. And you know what I love about that is a workout? As soon as you press start, they jump right on you.
Yeah.
So you usually got to start going at it. It's such a killer workout. The Oculus, they don't pay me jack shit. I don't get paid for this. I'm just telling you, if you guys like to get in shape and you love the box and you love fighting, check it out. Thrill of the fight.
And you don't have to get punched in the actual face, which I love. I absolutely.
Well, you know what my son told me? My son told me that they actually sell like a vest that you can put on and headgear, and you feel the punches when they punch you back.
No, that's why I'm doing virtual reality. But that is awesome. That is continuing to evolve, obviously, just like you, ladies and gentlemen. President of the UFC and maybe the greatest blackjack player to ever play blackjack, Dana White. Yeah! Thanks, man. So Lene's sending us a bunch of stuff.
Here we go.
I think it's coming to this office, so that's a shame over there in Ohio.
Yeah, I'll get some. I'll get somebody to pull a few for me.
Yeah, Bruce will probably steal. He's not here. He's on vacation in Greece or something.
Greece during COVID. That's a
bold strategy.
I actually don't know if that's where he is.
Croatia, he's in Croatia, yes.
Similar.
Yeah.
Basically the same.
So is he gone for 3 months because he has to quarantine or what?
Yeah, I think you do have to lock it down there for at least 14 to 17 days. Who knows? Bruce will figure it out. He'll steal some stuff for you, though, for sure. Shout out to Dana White there.
Were you surprised by his hatred towards Oscar De La Hoya?
No, but I just like classic AJ Hawk, by the way. Just classic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he cut a promo on him, which was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a perfect moment there. AJ, I want to let you know, Frank gave us an incredible interview today, conversation. Thank you so much. Dana just gave us a great conversation. Thank you to Dana. Tomorrow, Phil Mickelson.
Oh, yeah, baby. Can't wait.
I mean, good conversation, by the way.
What time?
Whenever. We recorded it this morning, right before we went on.
I've been drinking his coffee. It's great.
Well, his coffee actually, wait till you hear it, it's like saved his life.
Yeah.
Seriously. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a pretty good conversation. When we didn't have his schedule, it was an interesting time on whether we were to run it. So we're going to run it tomorrow. It is awesome. But what needs to be said is it's 3:05 Eastern Daylight Time right now, AJ. I've already played 12 holes of golf today. Mm-hmm. Wow. Won $240 or something from somebody. Did an interview with Phil Mickelson. And completed an entire show with Frank Reich and Dana White. And I want to let you know my thoughts right now are the same exact as they were at 10 a.m. this morning when I walked off the course on hole 12 to head down here. Your $20 million is not safe, pal. It is a problem. Okay, I found a club.
What'd you shoot in the front nine?
I was playing match play.
Yeah, and you don't put anything out. You fluff your ball. You do all of that. I know.
I don't roll. Okay, I don't do winner rules. Okay, that is not what I do. The person I was playing against actually first hole, middle of the fairway, did that, and I was like, oh, fascinating. What
the hell's that?
On the fairway, we're doing it.
That's interesting.
Now there was dew all over.
Oh.
And
what made you go play at 7 a.m.?
Business meeting.
It's business.
Hell, business.
It's business.
You wouldn't get it.
It's business, baby.
It's business.
It's business.
Where business gets done.
It's business, dude.
I want to let you know.
Were you planning on playing 18?
They were, yeah. I mean, there was no way in hell I was
36, I thought.
Yeah, they might be still playing right now, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure, but you were in trouble. That was my second round of the year, okay?
Yeah.
And I found a club that goes 70 yards. So now all I have to do is get to 70 yards. And that feels like golf just got a lot easier. I want to let you know, in the last 3 holes, I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave on hole 12. Think about that. Normally, I went out at 11.
Yep.
Hole 12, I wanted to stick around. I had to interview Phil Mickelson, obviously, so I had to come in here. Your $20 million is not safe, pal. It is my 60 degree. Just
locked in
with the wedge.
Just get it to 70 yards and then just swing.
I love guys. I love talking to people like you. Like I remember talking to a guy. He was a radio guy in Columbus, and he loves golf, and he was showing me. He goes, I got this grip now that I do that I completely took the hook out of it. Left trees are out of my game. I'll never hit them in there. It's like, oh, you'll never hook the ball again. Good for you. And that's what you feel like. So 70 and in, you're dialed in. You're going to hit it within 10 feet every time?
No. 70.
I said 70.
Yeah, you said 70 and in. No. Once we get to 50 yards, it becomes
a little different.
It got a little ugly in there, you know. And wait till you hear Phil Mickelson's childhood tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's gonna make a lot of sense. Hey, it's gonna make a lot of sense in there. But 50 and in was where I was in. You get me to the green. Putter wasn't terrible. A couple 3-putts. I mean, so maybe there was a couple terrible moments, but made a couple as well. But if I was at 70 or out, we're talking Tiger Woods. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 bang, Dahn. Little English on there too. Had to fix
your divot.
Had to fix a lot of greens this morning. Had to fix a lot.
He's fixing a divot.
A lot of greens.
Yeah, because
this
you teed
morning.
off at 7. The greens were soaking wet. Of course.
It was very wet, and I have not golfed that early in a long time. And I actually told the people, like, this was an aggressive decision to have me golfing at 7 a.m., but this is a good conversation. We're having a good time out here.
Yeah. Sounds like course was in great condition. You played well.
I might start doing it daily, by the way.
Yeah, do it. You definitely will.
When are you going to get your own custom cart?
Well,
See you out there tomorrow, right? You would get there at 6 tomorrow.
I did see Aaron.
No need for
By the way, I got there 7. I got there at 7:05. 7:10.
7:10.
It's on time.
So you guys ended up teeing off at about 7:17.
Yeah. It felt like a 7:15, 7:20 tee off.
Okay.
It felt like it was a little bit later than intended, but to be honest, when that alarm hit and I realized it was to go golf, I was not as quick out of the bed as I really thought I was going to be.
Well, if you're playing match play too, that's a pretty smart move because I'm assuming those guys got there at about 6:45.
Yeah.
So you keep them waiting on the first tee a little bit.
I think they were on the putting green though.
No, they were hitting balls. Like guys, like if they're serious, those guys will get there at 6 and hit balls, putt, chip, do all that.
These guys were telling stories about a hole that they had played on a week ago together. So it wasn't until about hole 4 that I realized, like, oh, you guys are playing golf every fucking day. This is my second time this year playing. So they were a little early. I was against the ropes there a little bit early. But
Yeah, but it sounds like you came out on top. If you would have you played 18, who knows how much cash you would have taken.
Might have won by 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Found it.
You're in trouble, AJ, is all I'm saying.
But you're basically on tour already, man. I am shaking.
All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a golf simulator, and we're going to stream me in. It's going to be called Road to Tahoe. Thought about this morning.
Let's go.
Nice. It's going to be called Road to Tahoe. We'll have people come play randoms. Only one at a time. They're coming alone. Come in, play, stream the whole thing. Maybe golfers come in.
Yeah.
AJ will stop by every once in a while, the Road to Tahoe, and we'll just try to figure that thing out. I think it's good. I think it is good content watching people golf.
For sure.
Because people will just judge me for it the entire time, or they'll say, hey, that son of a bitch is going to get $20 million from AJ Hawk.
Yeah, and you can be playing the best courses in the world too. You're not just playing, anywhere.
Whoa, what are you saying about the courses around here? Everybody's
I love the courses around here. Don't get me wrong.
You're playing
you by chance-
Tahoe, and that's it.
That's it. We're playing Tahoe every day.
Oh, okay.
Every day.
Learn the course.
You need to know that course like the back of your fucking hand
Like
when
that
you get out
matters.
there.
I mean, like it matters. You'll beat me out there, but that doesn't mean you're going to come anywhere close to winning the tournament.
I don't need to win the tournament, okay? I got 31 years to get top 50 in the championship tour.
Those days are ticking by faster and faster. You're going to look up. It's going to be 30 years from now.
This morning, I already started. This morning.
Boom.
You should have seen me. Alarm clock goes off. It says, it's golf time. I was like,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Do these guys know? Do these guys know your aspirations to reach to make the cut in a PGA event?
Yeah, and these guys golf every single day, and one of them much better than the other. The other, though, we played one time before, and it was, I think, my first time playing in like 3 years, and I beat him. So I have held that over his head. He has not paid me since that day.
Jeez.
So I've held that over his head for the last couple of years. Like, hey, you still owe me $120, by the way. So it has always been some. So now I think he came in geared up. I think like he's been playing a couple rounds a day. Like I think he came in ready to go. And little he know, just fucking double that thing. You owe me $240 now. Yeah.
Pay up.
It doesn't matter how many times, AJ. All right. Wait till you hear what
You're a
Phil
good
says.
golfer.
Huh?
You are a good golfer. I admit that fully. You are a good golfer. You are nowhere near even a collegiate golfer or a high school golfer, but you are a good golfer.
It doesn't matter about the high schoolers. Doesn't matter about the college kids. I don't care about how young they're young.
Those guys are playing now. They're better than you now, okay? And they're going to be playing from now until eternity, until they die. And they're not going to. A lot of them, the majority of them, will not make the tour.
Yeah, but they're playing right now with good backs. You know, the torque in their back. Right. They're going to have to change their entire game. For me, my back's already old. All right, it's already working and getting adjusted. So just like some no name that I'd never heard before wins Champions Tour every single week, it seems like I can get top 50. All right, that's what I've decided.
You'll be just fine.
Do you want a buyout? $10 million today.
Absolutely not.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
It's not a good deal because this isn't even a bet. It's not. I'm not even gambling here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you want to double it?
No, I don't need to double it. There's no reason. I mean, you might as well put $1 billion on it. It doesn't matter.
Come on. A lot of people are calling into question how you're going to pay me $20 million in the next 20 years. I just want to let you know. And I'm like, don't you worry about Mr. Hawk. Okay, he is a sound business man.
It's in his sock drawer.
Bingo.
Yeah, all right.
Are you going to give it to me in a briefcase?
20
Yeah,
million
in a hypothetical world where you got it, yeah.
20 million won't fit in one briefcase. You're going to need to bring fucking 150 briefcases.
Fact check. No, by the way, that is not true at all.
That is not true.
There's a way that you can just make a lot of money. Just be like,
you ever see Pablo Escobar? Ever watch a documentary on him?
Hell yeah. You going to go through all that trouble?
To do what?
To put the fucking cash in this briefcase.
Well, it's a hypothetical thing. You know, I don't deal in hypotheticals. This is hypothetical, but no, I would. Yeah, if for some reason any of this happened, which it wouldn't, yeah, I would give you a nice silver briefcase that I buy at Walmart. Those cool ones I used to like when I was a kid when I saw people carrying.
Oh, that's right, nice Walmart briefcase for $20 million. I appreciate you, AJ. Stay humble. You know what I mean. Stay hungry as you pass over. You know.
Question is, what would you do if I handed you a briefcase of $20 million cash?
It's gonna happen.
What's the first thing you would do?
I'm going to go bananas. I'm going to go absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Told you.
It's going to be a good time. Maybe you're a caddy, by the way. Do you caddy for this thing as well? Or are you there the entire time?
If you make an event, if you get into an event, yes, I would love to caddy.
Yeah, but you're going to sabotage me. 8-iron, huh?
Never.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I wouldn't. I would never sabotage you. Like it matters.
You don't want him as
Champions Tour is giving out, what, $14,000 to the winner? I'm getting $20 million for getting top 50. I can't have him as a caddy.
No. Because he'll say, jackass in your backswing and shit like that, and you can't be
I would never say, I don't need to sabotage you. I would never do that.
I don't want that type of attitude on my bag either.
No.
Exactly.
I would be very positive. I would be very positive.
That's not the type of attitude that I need to tell me going down the 18th hole. You know what I mean? Hey, you're in 49th place. Let's hold on.
Exactly. Can't have that.
The amount of pressure on a 49th place to 51st place putt. Oh, my God.
Can't wait.
Just hit it to 70 yards and you'll be fine.
Hey, you're right. I won't have to putt.
Nope.
I should Scottie Pippen that thing.
Yep.
Yes.
To win the 20 mil.
Clean dunk.
This is the last opportunity for you to buy out. I just played my second round of the year, dude. Ball's hopping off the club. Do you want to buy out of this thing at 10 mil?
You should. So 31 between now and the next 31 years is my last opportunity to buy out.
Well, you might get more, but it's going to go up. It's going to go up. I want to let you know, 10 million is the price for it today.
You're like the banker prices, or was that the
Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
By the way, I had played the banker in the Deal or No Deal that we ran in the training room.
Really?
Yeah, it was a good time. Nobody took the offer. The training room did collect a few $100s very quickly.
Damn.
Yeah, I was the bank, the pot, and the banker, and nobody would take any deals because it was only $100 for the winning. So everybody was like, I'm just going with my pick as long as 100's there. And then as soon as 100 was gone, my offers were terrible. $3.50. Nobody wanted it. But that's what I'm doing here with you. $10 million. Take it or leave it.
No, I feel very good about the wager I placed.
All right, I'm back out there tomorrow.
It's not really a wager.
Foxy, we got 12 holes to play tomorrow morning. Bring the camera. Ty needs you to bring the attitude.
Hell yeah.
Connor, need the golf cart.
Yep, see you there.
5% chance this happens tomorrow.
Less than that, but less than that.
We'll be there.
There's a much higher chance, though, that I get your $20 million. Did you see Aaron Rodgers has been living his best life, dude? He's driving around Green Bay in a golf cart, the Ashton Martin, as Bakhtiari named it and titled it. He actually said that he felt bullied by me and Aaron to get him some sort of gift, so he got this thing personalized. Aaron's been loving it, driving it around, having a good time. This morning, he's using the team photographer's cameras, taking some photos. He's laughing, having Randall Cobb's back. We're having a blast. Are the Packers going to win the Super Bowl? And is Aaron Rodgers the most happy quarterback of all time? And With the new iPhone, has he gotten a chance to practice his photography skills, or is this something he's always been good at, AJ Hawk?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe photography is something new he is getting into. He seems really dialed in here, doesn't he? What's he trying to do? Is he shooting video?
Well, I don't know if he's mocking or mimicking the person he's sitting next to there. He did go down on one knee. He said, "Oh, what do we see down here? What do we got down here? What do we got going on?" Grabs the camera. Pretty good lens, it seems like. Probably a pretty good lens there. Zito, is this a camera that you would fancy, sir?
Yes, it's a very, very nice lens and camera.
And I assume Aaron knows that. He's doing a little zoom in, a little portrait mode. Let me go ahead and blur the backdrop here. How you doing? Keep it moving there.
Looks like you might have it in sport mode. Maybe he's taking some action shots, of guys like going through, pads and stuff like that.
Clusters.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's a cluster photographer.
Photo burst.
Photo burst guy. There it is. There it is. Yeah, that's very nice of him.
Yeah.
If I know anything about him, he'll probably print those out, put them on like a portrait, and give them as a gift, right?
Yeah, maybe even like make a calendar for a guy.
That'd be sweet.
Hey, you ever take any photos of you, AJ?
No, I don't think so. You think he's making? Is that why he's doing this? He's trying to make a calendar for the pack.
It's a good gift.
It'd be cool. Here you go, guys. Instead of getting you like a jet ski or something, I made an O-line calendar.
Well, it's a sentimental value. It shows that he cares about the guys more than just, a price tag. It's like, hey, I'm going to make a fucking calendar you can put on your fridge.
And I don't think he was taking a photo of an offensive lineman. Run the video back again.
Mercedes. Is that Mercedes?
Yeah, I think it was the big dog. He was like, look at this. It's my last chance here. Also, look at the big dog. We got Mercedes back. Look at this. He's running a little bit. Is that extra or is that? Yep. Looks like he's running a little bit extra. Want to get in better shape here. And Aaron's like, look at this. This is the picture of being a professional right here. He said, I need to capture this in portrait mode, the picture of professionalism here. That's a big dog running extra at the end of practice. Let me go down here and take a knee, a little bit of stability here. I don't want it to shake it all, especially if I'm doing a photo burst. What a great fucking teammate.
Yeah. Honestly,
what a great teammate.
He probably loves his golf cart so much that he's going to get everyone golf carts, and it's going to be pictures of them
on
as
the golf cart.
carts.
Oh, yeah, that could be. That definitely could be it. And I also do like the fact that he probably let somebody else drive his golf cart back instead of on the bicycle. That's why he's hanging back to take photos of people. He'll be the last one off the field.
Bingo.
Wow.
Consummate leader.
Let's go. MVP's back with a vengeance, man. We just saw it right there while taking a knee with a photo.
Had an IG story. Long hair do care, so he's locked in.
Oh, jeez. AJ, back-to-back MVP maybe.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
He's taking
team
photos.
around him. The team around him got better, didn't they?
Yep.
Is he doing Aaron Rodgers Tuesday this year? Do you know?
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe we'll see.
That sounded a little bit optimistic, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is that happening or
I'd
not?
be optimistic. Yeah, Ed texted us after we talked about it last time.
Yeah, and you need to stop throwing out numbers. That's what I learned from that text message. Yeah, you need to take it easy. All right. Some of these sharks in the water, you got to know that every single stroke that you take is a potential leverage negotiating move. All right. And this is one of those.
That's why we don't want him back, right? Is that what we're telling Ed publicly?
Nope.
I never said that.
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
This guy's a scumbag.
He's the worst.
Why does he do it?
Well,
that was a leverage play. Like when you were texting me this, like, hey, we got to act like we don't want him on. So then
I never said that. Just want to let everybody know I did not say that ever. I would love Aaron Rodgers Tuesday to have. It was a highlight, to have that conversation. But there is businesses getting involved, you know what I mean, so we can, continue to make it.
Tie everything up.
It's getting big, But you got to remember, in that water, there's sharks out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Swimming.
Don't need AJ throwing fucking chum in the water either.
Yeah, that's kind of what he does, though. Did you hear what he said, Dana?
Yeah.
Just
ridiculous.
Like we're down
ask him about a relevant fight coming up with two highly prominent known fighters.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's great question. Great journalism out of you. I appreciate it. I just want to let you know I didn't know those two were fighting, so I guess everybody else probably did.
I didn't know.
No, that came out of nowhere.
I thought Woodley Paul was the big boxing fight coming up.
Yeah, and he was probably so pumped you didn't ask him about Woodley Paul. That's why he did the
full promo.
I've never seen him go silent when asked about Oscar.
Yeah. By the way, he's not knocking everybody out.
I was thinking the same thing.
He's on a harder level than you.
No.
That's not true.
Unless there's a new update that I don't know about. I'm telling you, I think I got fucking Ambien in here, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've added a couple more punches in, to the body to open up that jaw a little bit more. But I don't know why you'd ever buy that body kit, they said, that makes you feel the punches. Because I'm just going in there reckless abandon. Like, come on.
It's the opposite of what you want.
Exactly. But it's nice to know that he's not knocking everybody out. Because he was like a boxer, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, trainer.
Plus, you're going southpaw for a while too, just to work on like the left hook. So
Yeah, not to rest the right arm at all.
no, not at all. No point.
No, that's to get better on the left side.
Exactly.
I have a pretty good tell, I think, if I was to be fighting an actual human. When you see me go from here just to there, I am probably pretty dead. And this one's coming from really far out there. It's coming from the hip all the way around there. You need to get in there, AJ. I'm telling you, you would love it, I think.
I have done it, and it is a great workout. I talked about that. Dana, I don't know. Dana's little pump-up speech about it got me at least thinking about strapping it back on.
Hey, Lene's going to be sending me his workout or whatever.
That prototype.
Yeah, you knock out Spider, pow, you're dead. And then what I'm doing, push-ups probably like I'm in the Joe Judge team.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
hit the bag.
All right, let's get out of here, dude. I think we hit everything we did. Unbelievable. Can't thank you all enough for watching and listening. Let's do a giveaway. That's too soon.
Too soon.
Only about a week removed from
Yep,
that.
too
No
soon.
way.
Too soon.
Maybe once like the NFL season comes back around, maybe.
Plus, he did a giveaway with Dahn already.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So we're probably set till football.
Yeah.
Maybe for like kickoff,
Yeah.
Opening night.
Yeah, like the opening night of the preseason Thursday.
No.
You gave away merch on your Instagram too.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you guys asked about or talked about this or not, but Rudolph is starting, so definitely take the Cowboys.
Okay, so we are betting on the Cowboys.
Here we
Probably
go.
Dak and Jerry going to do their thing Thursday night. I have a little piece of information that just came to my ears. So we all saw Brody go to the Los Angeles Lakers in a big-time trade move with the Washington Wizards. It is now being reported that Melo is now a Laker.
Wow.
They have a spot, lights out, lethal, sniper, killer, shooter.
Wow.
On the outside now for Brody, LeBron James, and AD to go to absolute work. Look for the Lakers to definitely win yet again. This will be their second title in 3 years. Everybody can no, everybody needs to relax and know that LeBron's all the way back. Space Jam might not have been your favorite movie of all time.
Yikes.
But the Lakers are putting together a squad of Avengers and Guardians that are going to bring the Lakers all the way back. This is a draft class, what, 2007 or something like that?
99, I think.
99. They're going to win it all.
They have the oldest roster of all time, I think.
By far.
Frank Vogel's ready to win one with them.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for this. I obviously enjoy this. I love this. Will any of them tell LeBron their thoughts about Space Jam? We will keep an ear to the ground with Shams and Woj to find that out, AJ.
Are people upset that LeBron just built another super team? Are they up in arms?
No, I don't think so. I think at this point everybody thinks that they're going to stink.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what the
How do
NBA
you-
is.
No one's calling it
Build
a
super
team.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah. People are saying they're going to stink. I guess it's not the right team.
Looks like a super team to me with all these big name guys.
Hey, that's what I'm saying too. They're going to, hey, put that marquee up there. Guess what? I'm watching, And that's what the NBA needs.
That's right.
They also need LeBron back on top. This guy's been taking a beating from his own son, from the fucking guy.
Yeah.
Everybody.
His own movie son, you mean?
Dom? Dom.
That's the younger, the gamer.
A DJ.
Yeah. Oh, so you watched.
Spoiler.
Oh, so you did watch the entire thing.
No, I saw the first 7 minutes.
Why'd they have him walk through a puddle? I mean, that's just one decision that was made that was poor that I think the people around LeBron, unlike this Lakers squad this upcoming year, the people around LeBron in that Space Jam, the people that he relied upon as their specialty and everything, I think they failed him.
Maybe that's why I did it. Maybe he was like, hey, listen, I ain't doing a fucking Space Jam deal again. I need some people around me with some common sense.
I don't want to play Dom ball. I want to play NBA basketball.
Well, Dom ball was pretty sweet.
Dom ball was pretty cool. I didn't fully understand the scoring system. Things got out of control very quickly, but I guess that's because I didn't hit the super boost or whatever the case was. But the fact that one half of that banana boat is now in Los Angeles. You remember what one half of that banana boat did down in Miami?
Yeah.
One half of that banana boat won a couple down there in Miami. One half of that banana boat's going to do the same thing in 2021.
Hell yeah.
Maybe D Wade come out of retirement too.
That'd be sweet.
He's doing that show.
Yeah, he's got the show on
Trapped
Thursday
in the
nights.
box.
The Cube.
Nick, what's that show? You love that show.
The Cube.
It's like Minute to Win It, but it's different.
It's not a bad show.
Throwing balls in a box.
Is Lefko on it?
Is Lefko on the Cube?
Is Lefko on it, Paul?
Oh, no.
AJ, we got pillows sent to the office.
Who was that? Was that Gump?
Yeah, that was Gumpy. Mine's down yonder. Let me go ahead and Joe Judge. Hicka! Hicka! Hicka!
Oh, it's AJ.
Yeah, it is AJ.
That's me. Yeah, I brought it in the studio when I was there.
Looks just like you.
Holy shit.
I thought that was Billy too.
It's the same thing.
Welcome to the AJ Hawk Show. My jawline's good to go. Two of me is better than one, but it seems like my face isn't done. Couple of days. Hey, you look good here, AJ. I think you look good. Wow. Oh, hey.
Nice grab.
Thank you.
Okay, that was just like you.
Yeah, this is 270, Pat. I know the exact picture. I know the exact picture they used for this one. You know what I mean? Who is this again? Sorry about that, me. Who is this? Who made this? Do we remember?
I can't remember his name right now.
Send it to
It's like the little wrestling figures. Did you have those? The little guys that you could beat up and throw around?
Yeah, dude. I've been suplexing Hulk Hogan since I was like,
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you, man. Pow.
Should have saw what Boogs did to Deadpool. I mean, he absolutely eviscerated that guy, too.
You been watching SmackDown? AJ's a Summer of Cena, dude.
I've seen some of it here and there. I did not catch the last one.
What are your thoughts on Cena?
I mean, I feel like, Cena's... I didn't really know Cena left, so he's back.
Summer of Cena, he is back. Let's go to, doesn't matter, it's Roman Reigns, dude.
Yeah, Roman Reigns is going to bury him.
Hey,
Doesn't
welcome
stand a
back.
chance.
See you later. You know what I mean? That's what Roman Reigns is basically going to say. I didn't
Why
say
are
it.
you? Aren't you supposed to be partial? Like, aren't you supposed to, or say, be impartial?
Listen, I am. I'm just calling it how I see it, and that's what they're asking me to do. Roman Reigns is at the top of the world right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
John Cena, hey, unbelievable. Long time. But you can't just go beat Jacob Toretto and then think you're going to be able to bounce back in and beat Roman fucking Reigns. Like that ain't good. That's just, I don't love it. Okay.
Wait, Toretto, did he play... Does he play Vin Diesel's brother in one of the...
Yeah.
The last one.
Yeah.
Most recent one.
9 Fast, 9 Furious?
Yep, that's it.
Tra. Yeah.
Are we going to 10?
Oh,
Yeah,
going to
we got-
11.
Got 2 more, AJ.
I think they're pushing through 20, 25
At
if
least.
they have anything to say about it. Oh, yeah. That thing's going. And by the way, the people love it. We got a couple Fast and Furious's in here. They absolutely love it.
It's
They'll
awesome.
go forever. I wonder how The Rock feels about it.
Connor said the tagline for 10 is going to be Fast 10 your seatbelts.
That's the show.
I did not say that. I did not say
That's
that.
the show, yeah. Him and Don's in 15 minutes.
That was good.
Fast 10, your seatbelt on the way out of here, Tony. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good day.
I never said that.
Hey, hashtag, no, tomorrow we'll do a giveaway. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow we'll do a giveaway. What day of the week is tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday needs to have, and it's Phil Mickelson on. Yeah, we'll do a big giveaway tomorrow. All right, we'll do a
Hey,
big
good
giveaway.
luck. Good luck in your golf round tomorrow, too.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
can't
We
wait.
appreciate it. Thank you, AJ.
Can't wait to see the footage.
Text you from the course.
All right, see you, dude.